Listen, your wedding day is the biggest day of your life. That's why you need to talk with Nick Hulberg from Pro Style Production DJ Services. The experience, the voice, the setup, you won't be disappointed. 15 years of big arena hosting, announcing, and DJing speaks for itself. PSP DJ Services also handles premier events, reunions, or parties. Call 833-1007 or visit ProStyleProduction.com to book now. PSP DJ Services. Make your event Pro Style.
At Premier Chiropractic, we are dedicated to achieving the best results possible for our patients through the most cutting-edge advances in natural healthcare today. Improving movement, function, and health, improving life.
Call to schedule your appointment today.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Go for lunch, frequent supper times a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
I love
Planet Pizza.
Hi, my name is Marshall Kanam. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
This broadcast on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Comes down low to the near side. Bennett walks out with it. Bennett centering, feed, fires, and Easton Bennett scores. It's 4-1 Magi on the twisted wrister from Easton Bennett.
The growing tradition of Magi hockey carries on today.
He scores, and it's a hat trick for Hayden Schwartz.
With one goal in mind.
Face off one back to the Knights. Minot High is winning the state title. They have won the state championship.
This broadcast on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Fibetta Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services.
To the point, Hyde sends it down. Bennett, top shelf backhand, right where Grandma keeps the cookies, and it's 5-1. Out of Gretzky's office, Bennett feeds Hyde at the line, near side. Hyde tunes it in, tipped in front. Vile tucks it home, and it's 5-1. Leanne's handling, whistling, firing into the glove. No, he scored. It's 2-0. Heads, tattoos at home, and the Magicians lead 2-0.
It's time for the Minot High Magician Hockey Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location, has been serving the Magic City for over 20 years. Call and order now at 701-852-1700.
Colby Enns will start the rush. Enns has a big hit at center ice. Welcome to senior night. Plenty of noise. Easton Bennett absolutely lights up Ruley. There's the hit of the game, maybe of the week.
Now, let's go to the ice with the voice of the Magi. Here's Nick Hulberg.
Five games ago on January 22nd, we saw one of the most thrilling endings to a hockey game all year on this schedule for the Minot High Magicians in 2017-2018. Where were we? Who were we playing? Well, we were in Bottineau. We were at the legendary Lumberdome, and it was a barn burner that night. Brett Davis scored in overtime to propel the Magicians to the win over the Bottineau Braves. Since then, the Magicians have been one of the hottest teams inside of the West region of North Dakota high school hockey. 20 goals combined in their last two games. Most recently, a win here on home ice against Williston on Tuesday, a 10-3 affair. Tonight, Bottineau returns to the Magic City, and it's the final game of the 2017-2018 regular season. It's number 3 against number 6. And more importantly than that, tonight, this is the opening round of the West Region Tournament, and the matchup that we're probably going to see a week from today at the same very time on the same very ice surface. Welcome into the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location. School parties, tea parties, birthday parties, so much more. They truly are out of this world. Planet Pizza delivers the pregame show tonight for Magi Hockey. I'm Nick Hulberg, alongside of my announcing partner, the legend himself, Mr. Larry McFall. Well, here we are, final game of the year. The Magicians are red hot. Bottineau comes back to town. We had the luxury of calling the game up in Bottineau against this Braves hockey team led by Ian Amsbaugh, the freshman. That was a thrilling contest that night. Do you expect more of the same tonight? Or was that a fluke, maybe, you could say, for the Magicians maybe not turning in the performance that they wanted to? Lately, they've just been so darn good, hard to argue.
Well, Minot now is beating the teams, Nick, that they have to beat, and they're beating them very convincingly. it wasn't a fluke, but the folks that have been around hockey in Minot and Bottineau know that this used to be the big rivalry. Minot didn't beat Bottineau the first 4 years of high school organized hockey until they finally beat them in a play-in game for regions in 78 in overtime when Scott Fuchs scored the winner on goaltender Mark Amsbaugh to finally beat Bottineau. You also have to realize that Bottineau's rink is a lot smaller, and it's very, very, very cold in there, as I'm sure those that listen heard us complain a couple of times throughout the night. So when the Magicians go up there, there's different bounces, there's different angles, it's cold. The same thing, Nick, affects Bottineau, I feel, when they come here. They're not used to playing in a warm rink like this. They practice in Bottineau and Rugby. Both of those are cold rinks. And to get in here over the years, traditionally, sometimes they run out of gas in the third period because this facility is very, very hot for them. So that also comes into play. It wasn't a fluke, but Bottineau plays always good in their own rink. And then when they come here, sometimes it's a different story. But this team in purple down here has got a lot of heart, and I don't think they're just going to throw in the white towel and call it quits. They were here 2 nights ago playing the Minot JV, and as you said, pretty much a lock to be back here next Thursday again. So they're not going anywhere. They'll try to skate. Dave Hoff will have them ready. Outstanding coach. He's been around since these score sheets were on stone tablets.
29 years to be exact.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said in Bottineau, I used to referee with Dave, and I haven't refereed since Fred divorced Wilma. I mean, it's been that long. So this will be a good matchup tonight. I think Bottineau will give them a little bit of a run, but the Magicians definitely the favored team.
Ian Amsbaugh leads the Bottineau Rugby Braves. 23 points for him to the tune of 7 goals, 16 assists on the year. That's coming in 17 games. This kid is only a freshman. That name Amsbaugh's been around for so long up in Bottineau. He's a real special player, only a freshman. He's got some guys that can go with him, like senior Jay Shear, Wyatt Hawkinson, 18 and 15 points for them. Gabe Clements, the senior forward, 15 points for him. Riley Olson on the blue line, 13 points. This is a team that has a really bright future ahead of them. How big is a game like tonight for them, knowing that if they want to move out of that 6th spot going into the region tournament, not only do they need to beat Minot tonight, they need to beat Bismarck Century tomorrow night in a 6-point game, which just, let's call a spade a spade. I just don't see that happening, but then again, you never know. Lumberdome tomorrow night here, maybe a shocker tonight. How big is tonight for this Bottineau team, and some confidence trying to get back to the state tournament?
You know, you raise a good point because Century doesn't want to give up 6 points, obviously, but they've clinched first. Are they resting guys? Are Irie and Thomas going to play? If they don't, up in the Lumberdome, cold conditions, different angles, like I said before. But, you know, if you wanted me to bet my life earnings in Vegas over tomorrow night, maybe not. But like I said, this Bottineau team's going to fight. But can you imagine if they gave the Magicians another run here tonight, combining with the overtime game, and then coming in here next Thursday and going, hey, you know, we can play with these guys. So I think for the Magicians, it's a big key that they have to do what they did 2 nights ago. They just blitzed Williston. I think Minot really needs to come out and is capable of lighting it up. I think they pretty much have to maybe shut this momentum down, because if Bottineau keeps on getting momentum, whether they win or lose, I mean, that overtime loss, a lot of teams would be bummed they lost. Bottineau probably was pretty happy taking the Magicians to overtime. So I think tonight's important for Minot, but we've seen the guns for Minot out the last couple of games, and I don't see any reason why that won't continue tonight.
Scoring by committee, and that leads us to talk to the Magicians now. And my, oh my, this is a team that on Tuesday night on this very ice surface, it was senior night, they came in against a Williston team that was desperate for a win inside of region play, a 1-10 team coming in. No secret that the Magicians were supposed to win that night. Did anyone know that the Magicians were going to have 9 different goal scorers, score 10 goals on the night, and come out of here with a 10-3 victory? Minot High, in my mind, is playing their best hockey that they've played all year. Maybe the competition down just a little bit, but anytime you're getting 20 goals in back-to-back games, your confidence level has to be just skyrocketing.
It is, and I remember when I started doing the games with you this year at midseason when we were down in Bismarck, I remember one of the chats you had with Bennett in Coach's Corner. He said, hey, he goes, we're not a super great team right now, but we're building towards February. And the famous quote, again, I'll go back to Chad Burkhart, former coach. Doesn't really matter how well you play in November, December, and January. There's 3 days in the third week of February that you have to be good, and that's the West Region Tournament. So I think the Magicians have just gotten themselves in perfect position for the tourney that starts next Thursday.
Here's what I find to be the most interesting part of this 2016-2017 campaign and where we find ourselves right now with the Magicians finally starting to hit their stride offensively. Throughout the year, Minot High in those big games in these matchups against the Fargo Davies, the Grand Forks Centrals, Bismarck High, and Bismarck Sentries, not only have they given up too many goals, they haven't scored any goals against those teams either. Not only have we been shut out, but we just haven't had the performance maybe we've wanted to. I know for a fact there's a kid that wears number 31 down here to our right, Noden Nelson, that can play on a big stage and steal some games. How do we know this? Go back to last year at the region semifinals against Bismarck Sentry. 3 overtimes, he hangs in there. He's the star of the game. Minot High ends up winning that game. They get the number 2 seed. They win the first round of the state tournament against Jay Buchholz, Jared Winter from Fargo Davies. Odie Nelson, our star of the game again. He hasn't played his best hockey yet on the season either, and that's coming up, which means when a goaltender gets hot at the right time and all of a sudden pulls the lucky rabbit foot, you can shock some people and win some games. Minot High might be in a better situation than people realize heading towards tournament time with as many guys striking as they had, and Odie Nelson kind of hanging in the wings, if you will, knowing that he's had some big game opportunities to steal some, and we know that he can do it.
Yeah, he's proven that he can do it before, and I think, and knowing the kid, is he's going to be ready to go tonight, and he's ready to go if they give him the nod next Thursday, which I'd be very surprised if they don't. But I think one thing changed also since that Bismarck Century game down in Bismarck, and that's the trips to the penalty bus, the pit of misery, or whatever you want to call it, has almost been cut in half. The Magicians had a lot of trouble at the start of the year in the penalty box, an awful lot. And the last 3 or 4 games, that's been really lowered down. And obviously, if you're not in the box, you have a better chance of competing on 5-on-5. So I think that also has really proven to be a big key of why that offense and that defense of the Magicians is doing better.
Should be a fun one tonight. Bottineau and Minot High School, the old school rivalry. One that dates way back to your time, Larry. I'm sure we'll hear about it tonight in the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. You have one of the best high school hockey stories of all time about a nice old lady from Bottineau at the Lumberdome hitting you with a purse after a Minot High Bottineau line brawl, if you will, at the end of a contest.
Cheap shot.
Yeah, it really was. Can't wait to hear that story again in our intermission tonight, brought to you by Thrifty White Drug. But boy, oh boy, we have plenty of time before we get there. We're in the Planet Pizza pregame show for tonight's West Region affair. Number 3 Minot High against number 6 Bottineau tonight. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we'll talk to Jason Bennett, co-head coach of the Magi. We'll hear from him in the Elevation Coach's Corner, his thoughts after a big win Tuesday, thought heading into tonight's final matchup of the regular season. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Planet Pizza. 4 systems go for lunch. Frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love Planet Pizza.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS Store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork and their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibetta Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for the Elevation Coaches Corner. Elevation, located at the Minot Country Club and open to the public 7 days a week. Elevate your game at Elevation. Now back to the ice for the Elevation Coaches Corner.
Time for the Elevation Coaches Corner with the Minot High co-head coach, Mr. Jason Bennett. And first of all, Coach, thanks for a little bit of time tonight. Can you believe it's the last final regular season home game of the year, final regular season game of the year? Time flies.
Yeah, it's kind of weird sitting there at the rink. There's no JV game tonight, so it kind of has a West Region atmospheric feel that, ice is clean and no fans in the rink yet. So, yeah, it sure went fast.
You guys are really on a hot streak right now, 4 wins in a row, and in those last 4 wins, you guys have been putting up all sorts of points. I think it's 31 goals in the last 4 games. Talk a little bit about the offensive production of your hockey club, and, Sharks and Water is kind of what we were saying last night. They're really starting to buzz a bit here.
Yeah, we focused on getting up and down the ice in practice. I think we talked about that the other night, and we're seeing more creativity in practice, and I don't know, sometimes the light bulb just goes off for some of these kids, and sometimes, maybe they're seniors and it goes off too late. And I think, for some of the seniors are realizing, hey, we're coming to the end of the road here, and they're having fun, and scoring goals is fun. And I think we've only done it in the last 10 years. I saw a stat the other day, twice back-to-back games we scored 10 or more goals, and I think we did that 2 years ago, and then, the other night was the second time. So
kind of crazy how high school hockey works. When you look at the point production leading up until that point, you wouldn't expect this crew to be that team. Maybe at the start of the year you would have, with guys like Jake Weil, Pat Hyde, Stenberg, Deal, a youngster like Plem. We'll talk about some of these guys at the top of the list that you really expect to key in on and hope that their offensive production continues come tournament time. And how important are those guys, or is this a work by committee type of a thing now that we get to the final 6 games here?
I think it is. We scored 10 goals the other night, and we had 9 different goal scorers. I think Chase Haberman was the only kid to have 2 goals, and he's a player we just moved back up to forward after playing D for most of the year. So, and I think he's been a huge addition. Jack Plemmel is starting to score goals. Hunter Cope has got I think 5 in his last 2 games. So, that's kind of what we went with. We we kind of had one line with Davis and Weil and Stenberg. They kind of stayed together for most of that game, and then the other, I guess I'd say 7 forwards we kind of rolled through, where it was kind of a hodgepodge, and we just put different guys together and looked for combinations. And I think we're going to probably stick with that moving forward. And, it gives the odd kid a rest here and there. And we might even do that with that blue line a little bit tonight. I'd like to see their productivity be a little more impactful. I don't think they probably produced what they wanted to against Dickinson, but Williston, excuse me. So they might get shuffled in that mix tonight as well.
Talk about this Bottineau matchup just a little bit. The last time that we played Bottineau was on the 22nd of January. It was an overtime game. Brett Davis got the game winner, kind of maybe a wake-up call kind of a game for your Magi up at the Lumberdome, but we all know that that's a tough place to play. What do you expect out of Bottineau here tonight on your home ice?
They've improved from the beginning of the season to, they were just here that their JV team played our JV team, and they played really well on Tuesday night. We played them down in rugby. Our JV team, I think, kind of beat them. I think it was 6-2. We go up there and play in the Lumberdome, which is a really tough place to play. I thought we played pretty well. I don't know what the shots ended up being, but, their goalie played well, and they were very opportunistic, and I've seen that more than a handful of times in that barn with good players and that small sheet ice. So, I expect us to be more successful tonight on a big sheet ice, and the way we're going, the way we're scoring goals, confidence. I'd love to put up 10 more. Honestly, is that realistic? I don't know, but that's something that it would be great. It'd be a great confidence builder for our guys, and most likely 95% this is the team we're going to face in the West Region first round tournament. So you hate to come in tonight and it's a 5-4 nail biter again, and all of a sudden you get in the West Region tournament and you give a young team, a maybe not really experienced team, you give them some confidence in that West Region tournament, and that's a pretty scary thing.
I was just going to ask you about that West Region tournament and this matchup. You answered every question I was going to ask you. Minot High finishing number 3 inside of the West Region. Bottineau either needs to win, or they don't either need to. They need to win tonight and against Bismarck Century if they want to move out of that number 6 spot. Probably not going to happen. But in your mind, when we get close to the West Region tournament like this, pairings where 1 through 3 are kind of set. We've kind of talked about that upper echelon has been set for quite some time. In your mind, is there going to be any upsets coming towards tournament time, or any big matchups that you expect to see that maybe we didn't think of at the start of the year?
I don't know. I think it's probably about the way, the coaches predicted it coming into the tournament. I think Century and Bismarck High were tied number 1. I think Century proved the other night. I don't know if they're clear-cut number 1. Obviously they are in terms of, they went undefeated in the region, but, they beat Bismarck High 3-2 the first meeting, and then Tuesday night I think it was 5-2 and empty netter, and Bismarck High outshoots them 31-20. So that's a pretty good accomplishment to hold a team like that to 20 shots in a 3-period hockey game. I'm excited for that. Whatever it comes down to be, most likely the seedings will end up kind of how they are now. I don't see Bottineau getting past Century for those 6 points. I mean, it is possible. They'd have to beat us and Century. The 4-5 seed Jamestown Dickinson, that's going to be a barn burner.
Foot on the gas pedal, have some fun tonight, and best of luck here on the final night of the year.
All right, thank you. Hopefully we score lots more goals.
That's Jason Bennett, the co-head coach of the Magi. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, Larry and I will dive further into the numbers of this one. It's the Braves and Magi here on 910 AM KCJB. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Go for lunch, frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. I love space. Planet Pizza.
Great options for dinner tonight. Planet Pizza, they deliver for free. 701-852-1700. Best pizza in town. They've been serving the Magic City for 20 years. That's what I'd be doing if I was sitting at home with the radio on, listening to Magi Hockey tonight. Special thanks to the Mueller family, proud supporter of Minot High Magicians Hockey. It's Bottineau, it's Minot High. It's the final game of the 2017-2018 regular season. And the Magicians here on home ice tonight, set and ready for another one, hoping to see if they can keep their foot on the gas pedal. Larry, your thoughts heading into this matchup tonight, 3 against 6. It's a preview of next week's opening round of the Region High School Hockey Tournament on the west side of North Dakota. Could be a good one here tonight.
My thoughts now are, do they deliver to the press box here at the Pepsi rink at the Mesa Arena? That's what I'm wondering. You always make me so hungry when I have to listen to that jingle. We've talked about it quite a bit. The Bottineau rugby team, from what we've seen this year, is a bunch of kids that just really work hard. They're a little bit outpowered by Minot. I think if the Magicians, once again, as we talked about, stay out of the box and get that offense going again, I just don't think that they're going to be touched tonight. But Well, I didn't think it was going to be that tight up on the Lumberdome either, so that's why they play the game, and that's what we're here for tonight.
Let's hang on tight. Bismarck Century, the number 1 team in the West Region. They lock up the number 1 spot. Bismarck High locked up the number 2 spot. Minot High locked up the number 3 spot. Jamestown, Dickinson, Bottineau Rugby could all shuffle 4 through 6, but that's kind of how it's looking right now, that's how they're going to finish. Jamestown 4, Dickinson 5, Bottineau 6, Mandan 7, Williston number 8. They've got that playing game against Hayes and Beulah coming up this weekend. Only a few more games tonight. 1 game tomorrow at Century at Bottineau Rugby, and then 3 games on Saturday, and the season comes to a close before tournament time. Out east, Grand Forks Central number 1, Red River number 2, Davies number 3, Devils Lake number 4, Grafton Park River number 5, Fargo North number 6, Fargo South Shanley 7, West Fargo Cheyenne and West Fargo are having a play-in matchup to see who goes to the EDC tournament. Some nail biters lined up over on the east side of North Dakota.
Well, and you didn't say the points. Devils Lake 19, Grafton 18, Fargo North 18, Fargo South 16. That could still go either way and shuffle that around, so it's going to be a great finish out east.
Should be a lot of fun. We'll have a fun one inside the Mesa Arena Pepsi rink here tonight. Duffy Domak's got the official introductions of both teams. The hometown Magi being introduced now. That means we're moments away from the anthems and the opening draw tonight.
Starting in net tonight for the Magicians is number 31, Odin Nelson. Once again, he is a junior. Logan Broughton and Zach Peterson will be on the point. They're seniors. Kyler Stenberg will be on a wing as a junior. Jake Vile, number 18, and Brett Davis, number 16, are the forwards. It's anthem time here tonight at the Pepsi Rink.
First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
For lunch, frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. West Region High School hockey tonight. What a rendition of our nation's national anthem. Fantastic job here tonight. Let's set the radio dial up for you here tonight. Bottineau goaltender number 33, Adam Lorenz, will be in the blue paint to our left. Tony Nelson will be in the blue paint to our right. Magicians traveling right to the left. The Braves traveling from the left to the right. Minot High in their home whites tonight. Maroon helmets, pants, and gloves. The big square M in Vegas colored trim. On the front of the jerseys for the Magi, one maroon stripe through the center of the white socks. They've got a Vegas gold stripe on top of that one on the bottom. Bottineau Rugby in their purple uniforms tonight. Black helmets, pants, and gloves. They've got the big Indian warhead on the front of the jersey. 2 white stripes on the sleeves, 2 white stripes on the socks. Gray trim around the bottom. Eric Herbel will be the man in charge tonight. On the Bottineau bench is Dave Hoff, still representing the Paralympics and coaching Team USA. Eric Herbel, the former Mr. Hockey, North Dakota. He won a national championship for the MSU Beavers back in 2012-2013. We are underway. The opening draw of tonight's West Region Affair, won by the Magi. They dump it in. Back in behind Adam Lorenz. Puck is taken around to the near side wing and hammered out to the neutral ice zone. Here come the Braves pushing up through center ice. Comes to the captain, Logan Broughton. He's going to send this one through the air. Comes back over to Jake Vile, and Vile will skate it through center. Vile's pass intended for Davis. Went too far in front of him, and down underneath the net it comes, where the Magi are on the forecheck. Underneath the offensive net, left circle it comes. Back up to Stenberg. He's going to work it back into Davis. Now the Braves push it up the wall. They're going to try to clear out to center. They do, and here they come. This is Amsbach carrying it. Make that Clements. Clements takes it down to the corner on the near side. Jay Shear with control of the puck. Starting unit for the Braves starts to go for a change now as they scatter towards the bench. The Magicians almost get caught in the change as the puck was sent over from Stenberg. Right into the feet there. Odie Nelson fumbles the puck right behind the net. Miscue on handling. And it's going to come back to the Braves at center ice where they dump it back in. 1 minute, 15 seconds into the opening frame tonight. Pat Hyde has the puck for the Magi, trying to push it out of his own end. Right in front of the Minot High bench. Comes back to Logan Broughton after the heavy forecheck there from the Bottineau Braves and Landon Rosendahl. Puck comes back to center ice where the Magicians have it with Hunter Cope. Now Jack Plemmel, top of the circle, fires Lorenz. Make a glove save after he went into the butterfly and gobbled up the rebound.
Good action both ways. The Braves pressing the issue a little bit. Oh, they toss Odie Nelson his water bottle and the lid comes off and the water is everywhere. You don't need a mop though here because it freezes right down, Nick. Face off to the right now of the netminder.
From the player bench, they threw Odie a Gatorade bottle. Like Larry said, the top of that thing just broke right off of it.
And he still has no water.
Face-off on Lorenz blocker side. Face-off controlled and worked to the far side wall. On the retrieve at center ice, it's Pat Hyde after the Braves cleared to center. Hyde onto his backhand, now onto his forehand, hits the brakes right on the blocker's side, and Nelson fired it right off the back of Haberman. And Haberman's got it on the near side wall, trying to go up to Hunter Cope. Into the offensive zone, the Magi push it down underneath the blocker's side corner. It comes to the glove side. Underneath the circle down in front of the net, it's going to be taken here by the Braves and Nate Hammond. And Hammond skates it out through neutral ice where it's taken by Jack Plemmel and back in for Haberman. Haberman in on the 1-on-2. Hammond, nice job defensively. Got the stick in the way of Chase Haberman. And it comes away to the far wall for Mason Deal. He opened the scoring on Tuesday night on senior night, the junior for the Magicians on the season. With the nice goal that night, picking up point number 16 on the season. Back underneath the net for the Magi. It's Deal on the near wing, trying to get a handle on it. Underneath now for Philly and now Murphy. 14:20 to play in the opening frame. Sam opposed to far wall, holding it in. Last time we were at the Lumberdome, Larry and I were absolutely freezing in the crow's nest right above the player benches. It was cold that night. What a hockey game it was, however. It was an overtime thriller that the Magi won, courtesy of Brett Davis. Sam Opposed sends it into the blocker's side, rolling puck to the corner. On it there is Fillion, now off to Nick Murphy. Murphy, clear high-tech mask, worked it back up to the point, but no one home for the Magi as Broughton was just coming onto the ice for a change. Logan Broughton from center walked over the blue line, sent it in. Lorenz with the glove, knocked it down to the corner. Former Bottineau goaltending star and MSU Beaver goaltender Pete Fisk in attendance tonight. He sits right on the glove side corner of Lorenz, the Bottineau net keeper. Pete Fisk, one of the greatest goaltenders to ever play in North Dakota high school hockey. He had the shutout record in the entire state for many years, all the way through the late 1990s, early 2000s. Goaltender from Bismarck High ended up erasing that shutout record that Pete Fisk had in his senior year, offside of the Braves.
Yeah, you know, when Pete, as a real youngster, lived in Minot, was in the Minot hockey program up until I think about a peewee, and then they moved up to Bottineau. He used to be a forward, switched to a goaltender, and boy, as you said, Nick, he turned into just a fine netminder. And he shut the Magicians down a couple times when they came up to the Lumberdome. And then we got him back at least long enough to have him coach at Minot High for a while, and also, as you said, go on to play some solid years for the Beavers.
He was the starting goaltender for MSU. I found it so interesting that he was that good in the blue paint. Here's a drive in front. Bergerud from Jake File, and Bergerud goes right to the cookie jar. He strikes, and Bergerud picks up goal number 5. Just about 5 minutes into this one tonight, and the Magicians are on the board with first blood.
3:57 will be the time of that first goal. A real nice floating pass by Vile from the right of the netminder, Lorenz, and all Bergerud had to do was bury it, and he did. It's 1-0 Magicians.
Bergerud from Jake Vile, and the Magicians strike first. What I was saying about Pete Fisk is that he, in his college career, a few times he skated out as a forward for the Beavers, which was kind of just a crazy thing. The goalie's going to play forward tonight. He was the star of the game. He had a multi-point night the night that he did that over at the All Seasons Arena, if you remember back.
Well, he started that as a peewee, and they were in trouble that night with some forwards. They had some other goalies, and so Pete filled in very nicely.
12:27 to play here in the first period. Minot High up 1-0. Duffy Dobek with the call inside the arena. Jake Vile to Bergerud, and Bergerud had another chance on the doorstep. Fired it towards the net, went wide. Comes back away down to Jake Vile underneath the net. Tied up underneath the goal line, 2-for-2 scrum, and Bergerud's out with it again. Bergerud losing a handle on it now. The puck is taken here by the Braves, and they're going to skate it up to center ice where they move it across to the near side wing. And on the attack there is Ian Amsbaugh. Point leader for Bottineau. Had the puck stripped from him. In with it comes Stenberg. Stenberg turns it on angle shot. Clements made the stop. Lorenz made the stop. And the puck is taken here by Amsbaugh again. Amsbaugh run into there. Comes back to the point. Offensive zone. Left side for the Magi. Fired in from Logan Broughton. Pinned in the corner was Deal. That frees the puck over to the far side for Nick Costa, who moves it up through center where Peterson's got it. Peterson's back in for the Magi. The D-man through the legs. Now he gets it back. Makes another fancy move. Now a drive. Firing on Deal. Odd angle shot. That one from the goal line. And somehow Deal finds the back of the net. Point number 17. And the Magicians lead 2-0.
He took the shot from in between the hash marks and the goal line. Like they say, just throw it at the net and good things happen. Somehow that worked its way past the skate of Lorenz. And that goal comes at 5 minutes and 36 seconds here of period number 1. It's now 2-0 Magicians. We'll wait to see if we can hear the assist on that goal from Deal.
Goal number 9 of the season for the junior Mason Deal. Duffy Dobek with the call. That was an odd angle shot that beat the goaltender Adam Lorenz. 3.49 goals against average and an 87% save percentage coming into tonight's matchup. He goes against Odin Nelson coming in at an 87.6% save percentage. And a 3-3 goals against average here tonight. Bad save on the bomb from the line from Logan Broughton. Puck goes up to the far point, held in by the captain, Broughton. He tries to work it back down and back the other way with it. This is Nick Costa, walks over the Minot High stripe, sends it down. The Magicians go for a change, as do the Braves, and the Minot High junior forward Hunter Cope, who's been red hot lately, moves it up the near wall. Now Peterson up through center. He's good on the baseball field as well, across to Plemmel. Hard wrister in the slot, loose puck, knocked down. Fillion had it. He takes it away to the near side wing, left circle at the point, Peterson. Peterson back over to Fillion. If he would have been a left-handed shot, he would have controlled the puck better. It went off the forehand at an odd angle, and it comes out to center ice where the Magi have to regroup and send it back in. Down to a knee is Adam Lorenz to play it, and he'll just glove it and hang on to it.
Yeah, Lorenz knows that his team needs a break. Either that or he would have kept it going, but he covers it on up. That goal by Deal, an assist for number 6, Zach Peterson. So it's Deal from Peterson at 5:36 here of the first period. Face off now to the right of Lorenz.
Special thanks once again to Planet Pizza. Area's ultimate party location, school parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. They've got a lunch buffet as well. They open tomorrow at 11 a.m. I'd highly recommend Planet Pizza for lunch tomorrow. Out to center ice. It's taken here by Pat Hyde. He's going to work it back in to Nick Murphy. Fillion's out there with Plemmel as well. The quote-unquote sophomore line is back together. 9:35 to play in the first. Minot High up 2-0. There's a big hit there from Plemmel as he rocks number 6, Nate Hammond. Look out. Puck comes back up to the blue line, held in by Murphy. No, it's not. The arm comes up from Eric Steele, and the Braves regroup back in their own territory. Gar McCrimmon in charge tonight with Andy Carton. It's Eric Steele and Devin Blade on the lines tonight in this West Region High School affair, the final regular season matchup of the year for the Magi. Bottinau's got one more to play. Challenge gets even tougher tomorrow when they take on Bismarck Century. And the leading point getter in the state, Kirkland Irie, who comes into tomorrow night's matchup as the top performer in North Dakota, 65 points on the year in 19 games.
Penalty called there at the 8-minute mark. It's going to be a tripping call. And I didn't see the number before he sat down. It's number 16 of the Magicians, Brett Davis, with the trip. Once again, that penalty at the 8-minute mark.
So the Magi go short-handed. Huge power play now for Bottineau to see if they can generate some offense. Minot High dominating the shot category tonight at 7-1. Magi on the shot clock. Early on, they lead 2-0 as well, but they're short-handed for the next minute 49. Short-handed behind the net. Stenberg, offensive zone, working for it. Stenberg had Vile in the slot, screaming for it, but he couldn't get it to him. And now the Braves with control. They're going to work it up the near side wall and out to center ice, dancing with it. This is Ian Amsbaugh. He's just going to spin it back into his zone. This kid looks like a hockey player, doesn't he? He's got the socks tucked into the skates. He's got the clear eye-tech mask. Left-handed shooter is Amsbaugh. He's only a freshman. Player with a bright future for the Bottineau Braves. Here come the Braves up through neutral ice. Costa across. Amsbaugh's going to carry in. Met by Logan Broughton at the blue line. Now Amsbaugh's going to circle through neutral with it. Takes it down into the corner blocker side of Odin Nelson with 8 minutes on the dot to play in the first to the Magi. Launch this one all the way down. Nice kill from Minot High.
Nice hit by Broughton, and he dumps it down.
Brett Davis in the penalty box for the next 53 seconds. Congratulations to Brett Davis. He signed at Minot State University to play football for the Beavers on National Signing Day just a few days ago. In with a Nick Murphy, short-handed, fires it towards the net. Blocker save there from Adam Lorenz. That wears it down to 35 seconds of power play time as the Braves push back through center and coast to coast with it now is Clements. Clements lost a handle on it. The Magi pushed to center with Deal, and on that neutral ice, it's sent right back in by the Braves. 22 seconds to play here on the power play as the Magi hard off the glass and all the way down from Patrick Hyde. The puck went 200 feet. Salty penalty kill tonight for the Magi. The Braves haven't even registered a shot on goal. Brett Davis is up in the penalty box, and he'll get free here in 4 seconds. Cut him down as the Magicians and Fillion on that center ice wheel and deal.
Davis done feeling shame. He's back out there.
Brett Davis, 6 foot tall. He's a running back for Minot High School. 108 times he carried the ball last year for the Magicians on the gridiron. 560 yards on the season. Good enough for 9 touchdowns for the state runner-up Minot High Magicians. They'll be wearing red and black for the Beavers on the football field next year. The article in the Minot Daily News I found so interesting. Really hyped up the fact that he was a hockey player and what kind of grit that means that he carries about him. He's just a tough kid, it said. Into the offensive zone for the Braves. Glove side, sent in front of the net. No one home for the Braves. And the puck rolls back out to center where Sam Opposda has it. He's going to carry it into the offensive zone. 2-on-2, sent it in front. But it was Rybczynski in the way of that one. And the puck comes back up to the point where Haberman holds and fires. Turned on. And the stop is made from Adam Lorenz with 6:06 to play in a 2-0 first period.
The Minot kids have those legs moving really well, Nick. A great penalty kill there when they needed it. And a nice effort there by Opposed. The Magicians just seem to be one stride up right now tonight on the Bottineau Hockey Club.
Shots are 9-1. 2 goals have found their way to the back of the net, courtesy of Bergrud and Mason Deal. Opposed it. Shifts it back over to Hertz. Hertz lost an edge, went to his knees. He's right back up, and it's fired out to center, out of the tape. Hunter Cope. Cope's in with it, fires it towards the net. Lorenz gobbles it up and hangs tight.
Nice play by Bergrud to get it out of the zone, and Cope, nice soft hands receiving that pass. Got a pretty good shot off, but that time, Adam Lorenz says no, and the faceoff will come to his left. 5:48 remaining in period 1. 2-0 Minot High if you're just joining us.
Hunter Cope's my type of player, by the way. 7 goals on the year, 3 assists, but what I like about him most is he's just a hard-working kid. has the foot on the gas pedal all night. Good two-way player, hustles on line changes, back to the bench, and he's gritty. He's not afraid to get mean out there as well. Copeland's 19 for the Magicians. He's been on a hot streak. He had 4 goals against Dickinson last Saturday. Talk about a performance that was. Odie Nelson out of the net to play it. Fired it all the way out to center where Rybczynski, with green tape on his stick, fired it right back into Minot High's end. Now it's opposed to coughed it up right in front of Odie Nelson. Odie's forced to go down to the pillows to make his second save of the hockey game. The butterfly save draws the play to an end.
A blast from the top of the slot by Chase Shear, but Odin Nelson saw that come in all the way and makes the save right on the crest. And the faceoff will now be to his right. 5:11 remaining in period 1.
Face-off on the blocker side of Odin Nelson. Comes over to Jank Weil, trying to clear the zone. He does, goes right in front of the Bottineau bench. Bottineau in all purple tonight. Uniforms and socks, that is. Black helmets, pants, and gloves. I like those Bottineau uniforms, the old school with the big Indian head right on the front.
Little gray trim, too.
Little gray trim. Big hit on the near side wall. That was a crushing hit. Deal takes a player to the ice. Who is that, Ted? On the other side, that's Evan Nelson. Nelson's bucket comes off. Will there be a call on the play? Evan Nelson looks to be all right. Mason Deal, not known for monster hits, but they got together on the near side wall and went flying into the penalty box door.
That's number 19, Gabe Clements. The 9 and the 0, the 9 was bunched up. What I liked about that, both players got up and tapped themselves with their sticks like, hey, nice play, and continue on.
We'll face it off at center. Anytime a player's helmet comes flying off after a hit, draws a ooh and an ah from the crowd.
And in high school hockey, an automatic whistle.
Here's a drive from outside the zone from Deal. He fired it in. Lorenz made the glove save. Now it's pushed to center ice here by the Braves. Taken away by Deal. He's back in. All of a sudden, it's a 3-on-1. Deal on angle shot. Fired. Save. Rebound. Lorenz stoned him twice. Back over to Jank Weil. Top of the circle. It's pushed back out. Excuse me. Comes away now over to Logan Broughton. And
interference
call. Got a bug in my throat all of a sudden here with 4:13 to play.
12:47 is the time of that penalty, and it's going to be Deal for interference, the second penalty on the Magicians tonight. I might have maybe jinxed them. I said at the start of the game they've really cut their penalties down. Now they've visited the pit of misery twice already here in the first period.
Face off on Odin Nelson's blocker side. Ian Amsbaugh is going to be in on the draw against Plemmel. Amsbaugh wins it back at the point. Tipped in front of the net. That one went wide. 4 minutes, 7 seconds to play in the first. Minot High shorthanded as the puck is taken here into the offensive zone by Hunter Cope. Offsides. There's the Magicians will have a face-off coming back out to neutral. Thank you very much for the cough drop. I don't know. Good time to get bronchitis all of a sudden here in the booth.
No, it is not. Your rink mic is picking up a lot of noise in here tonight. This is a loud place tonight here at the Pepsi rink. Blasting my ears out here.
Taken and fired down the length of the ice all the way back in behind the Reds. By the Magicians, that one came off of the stick of Patrick Hyde. Not a bad crowd in the Pepsi rink here tonight.
And there's a Minot High student section tonight, which I haven't seen pretty much all year. I called them out. Well, they showed up tonight.
Puck fired down again by Patrick Hyde, the full 200 feet. 1 minute, 18 seconds remains on the Bottineau power play. The call, the interference to Mason Deal, who's one of the goal scorers here tonight.
Great work by Plemmel.
Amsbaugh's got it here. He had to get away from Jack Plemmel. Look out, Patrick Hyde had a player lined up. That was Wyatt Hawkinson. Hawkinson got around that check, and it's taken down into the corner where Hyde intercepts it again, and Hyde, with ease, just takes it away and then flips it up to center. Lead pass for Nick Murphy, shorthanded. Here comes Nick Murphy's hit, fires. Oh, and the stop is made. Lorenz into the butterfly, and he ate that one right in the chest.
Well, I thought it was going to go in between the leg pads. It ended up in his glove. Nice save by Lorenz. Nice dump pass by Hyde to send Murphy in the other direction. But that defenseman cut off his way to the net, and Murphy had to get rid of the shot maybe a little earlier than he wanted to.
Fillion won the draw over to Murphy. Murphy just tattooed it at the goal. The stop was made again. 11th save of the hockey game for Lorenz. Peterson has the hit on his own blue line as the puck comes into the Minot high end and then back out to center and all the way down off of Logan Broughton's backhand. 25 seconds remains on the call to Mason Deal. 2:30 to play here in the first period. The Magicians up 2-0. Bergerud struck first from Vile, then it was Deal from Peterson. That time it's Peterson that launches the puck the length of the ice all the way down. In behind number 33, the goaltender Lorenz, who played it away to the near side wing and out to center. They come with it with Jay Shear. Shear in over the Minot high stripe. Stick handles at the line. Deals out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5 as Shear out for a Sunday stroll right in front of the Qdoba bench. Qdoba sign on the wall, I should say. Slap shot comes in. Went just wide. Comes down to Peterson underneath the net. Down to 1:57 to play here in the first. Comes back up. Now to Peterson. He tries to clear out to center. He does. And it's Cope in with Peterson. Cope top of the circle, far wing. Sends it in front. Peterson tipped it. It went just wide. Half boards the puck. Rests there. It's going to be picked up here by Evan Nelson. And Nelson moves it back out to center ice. But it's Haberman making a fancy move. He steps in. Fires all. Haberman robbed with the knob of the stick of the goaltender Lorenz. 90 seconds in the opening frame. The Magicians trying to build on the 2-goal lead. Another drive comes in. Chase Haberman fires on. Stick save is made. Back underneath the net. No one home for the Magi as the puck pushed back up to the point. Hyde's got it. Hyde tried to send it in. There's a big boy hit from Davis. Frees it for Hyde, and Hyde's back in. Hyde, blocker side, walks down, fires all. Rattles the goalpost right where the goalpost meets the crossbar. And the puck is sent out to center. Here's Duffy Dobek with a 1-minute call.
1 minute remaining in the first period.
We'll give him the 5-second leeway on that one. Thanks, Duffy.
Yeah, you should have been doing it that time. You were all over it.
Comes back in behind Odie Nelson. Back away here to Opposda. And Opposda sends it all the way down the length of the ice. Back in behind the goaltender Lorenz. Now Vile sends it in front. Stenberg knocking on the doorstep, couldn't get a handle on it. Puck is going to be freed here by the Braves and Riley Bieberdorf. And Bieberdorf moves it out to center where Hyde's got it on his tape again. Now Bergerud right in front of the Bottineau bench. Bergerud steps in, top of the circle. Taken by the Braves. They push out to center. 19 seconds, 18-17. We're down to 15. It's Stenberg back into Vile with it. Now it's Bergerud looking for a second, throws it back in front. Vile back, drive comes in, loose there, cut him down, kids. 5, 4, 3. That's how period number 1's going to come to a close tonight. The Magicians up by a score of 2-0 at the end of one period played. We'll hear from Jordan Willert in just a moment. We'll have a recap of the period as well. Larry will have all the stats for you after one period of play. We'll also hear the story of one of the first visits of all time for the Magicians up to the Lumberdome, which gentleman to my left happened to be there, Larry McFall. Boy, what a story it is. 2-0 at the end of one. Minot High up on the Bottineau Braves. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Fibeto Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork and their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's time for the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. Now for the stats, analysis, recap, and everything else Magi hockey. Here's Nick Hulberg.
Minot High peppering Adam Lorenz and the Bottineau Rugby Braves tonight. 13-2 are the shots on goal at the end of 17 minutes. And Minot High in the driver's seat in this one, 2-0. It's Nick Hulberg next to Larry McFall for the Thrifty White Drunk Intermission Report. Entertaining opening 17 minutes tonight for the Magicians. You have to be pretty happy with the performance in the first period. Do you see much wrong with their game after one period played?
No, I think both teams actually are playing about as expected. The both teams moving their feet, both teams getting it done. It's just that Minot's overpowering Bottineau with talent when you compare the two teams. And Minot's got a couple of defensemen, Hyde and Broughton, that kind of loom above everybody else out there that's attacking into their zone. Those two guys are doing a real good job of getting the puck out of the zone and helping out Oda Nelson. He's only got 2 shots on him, but kind of going as expected. I think, as I said, just watch here now, middle of the second period, third period, and see if the Braves start running out of gas, because I know they play a lot of other teams in these rinks, but sometimes it just gets way too exhausting when you're used to playing in a small rink in the cold. Sometimes it's just way too hot for them, and we'll see what happens.
Jordan Willard should be joining us in just a moment. Before that, Larry, you want to give us our stats from period number 1?
Yeah, Minot opened up the scoring at the 3:57 mark on a goal by Bergerud on a real nice assist by Weil to make it 1-0. And then a little less than 2 minutes later at the 5:36 mark, Deal gets on the board. Mason Deal on an assist from Zach Peterson to make it 2-0. 2 penalties in the period. Number 16, Brett Davis, was called for tripping at the 8-minute mark, and at the 12:47 mark, Deal went in for interference. As Nick's already said, Adam Lorenz had 11 saves in the first period, Oda Nelson with 2, and Minot with a 2-0 lead here at the end of one period of play.
It's time for the Elevation Coaches Corner. Elevation, located at the Minot Country Club and open to the public 7 days a week. Elevate your game at Elevation. Now back to the ice for the Elevation Coaches Corner.
Jordan Willard, ice level with us after period number 1. Coach, shots are 13-2. You guys are in the driver's seat, 2-0 at the end of 1. Goals from Bergerud and Deal, as Larry just mentioned. Your thoughts on period number 1? Are you guys satisfied? Give that period a A/F rating. Looked pretty good to us up here.
Yeah, a solid A, B+ effort. And, I thought the guys battled pretty hard there and, did some things correct. And that Bergie goal there that's just a good hockey play there. It's a little chip, a little pass in and another pass, and Bergie decides to go under the bar. You can't argue with that. And then, Mason Deal find a little heartbeat there underneath the pads, and, nothing wrong with that. But, we can get more. We challenged the kids there to, we were looking for 20, 25 shots. We got 13. We had a couple penalties there, unfortunate, but, I thought the kids battled well, and it was a good first period. Now we got to build.
What do you think the biggest difference is from that midway point of the season until now? Obviously, the competition might be down just a little bit, but it's just those shots like Mason Deal from the corner, almost at the goal line. They're starting to find their way to the back of the net. What can you attest to that being, or is there a reason that these pucks are starting to fall for the guys? There's just a little bit more jam maybe in the room.
In practice, we've taken a pretty big initiative here lately. We've basically done nothing but 2-on-1s. Just working on creativity. Getting guys to see things. If I'm coming down the far side, I don't need to shoot short side every time. I can shoot far pad, and just because it doesn't go in there doesn't mean that my partner's not going to be on the back door to tap home the rebound. And a lot of it is you got to put it on the kids. The kids have been great. They've taken what we've taught them, and they've gotten better and practiced extremely hard. And it seems like we're buying in here at the right time, and this is a great time to be chugging on all cylinders.
Sure appreciate your time. We'll talk to you between the second and third. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Hi, Larry.
That's Jordan Willert, the assistant coach of the Minot High Magicians. Got to like what the coach has to say there, don't you?
Well, and that's exactly what we talked about in the pregame, is they are now starting to get a little more creativity, taking shots at the net. They're staying out of the box a little more, and that all helps out. And once you get the momentum going and you no longer think that you're always snake bit, things can happen. So, I think they're in a real good place right now. Schedule worked out to their advantage, so to speak. And now we'll see what happens the rest of tonight. They got to keep their foot on the pedal because this Bottineau team, like I said, they're not going to go away either. So we'll see what happens here in the second period.
Other games around the state tonight. Fargo South Shanley's at Fargo North. Jamestown's at Bismarck High tonight. West Fargo Cheyenne's at Davies. Grand Forks Central's at West Fargo. Devils Lake is at Red River. Other than that, it's Bottineau here in Minot tonight for a 2-0 tilt at the end of one period play. Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report rolls on 8 minutes and 20 seconds away from the start of the second. When we come back, Larry McFall's got a story for us about the Bottineau meltdown, maybe, if you will. Should be a lot of fun. We'll hear about that when we return. Minot High up 2-0 at the end of one. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knob. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We are at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
The areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibetta Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. Now for the stats, analysis, recap, and everything else Magi Hockey. Here's Nick Hulberg.
2-0 Minot High at the end of one period played tonight in the final game of the regular season for the Magicians as we get geared up for the West Region Tournament 1 week from today in this very venue. It's the Pepsi Rink here in Minot, North Dakota. Alongside of me is the legend Larry McFall. They call him all sorts of names, and legend is one of them, and here's a good reason.
Lots of names not very good either, but we won't go over those right now. This is a PG show.
Let's go back to 1974, and why you're known as the legend is because of stories like this right here. Take us back to the first ever year of Minot High Magicians hockey and a visit to the Bottineau Lumberdome.
Yeah, as everybody knows, or most people that have been around Minot know, that our hockey program's like 100 years behind Grand Forks. The hockey program started in 1968 at the outdoor rink in Municipal, the only outdoor rink in Minot there by the ballpark. And at that time, the VFW sponsored all the hockey teams. So there was a VFW high school team as early as 1970. but it wasn't officially taken in by Minot High till 74. So all those years, the high school team just got slaughtered by Bottineau. They had so many good players and so many tough, mean players. Lonnie Moe, Kevin Herbel, the Klingbeil brothers, Mark Amsbach, Kurt Getzloff, an outstanding goalie in the net. Could never beat them all the way up through the VFW Pee-wees and the high school team. So finally in 74, 75, I'm a junior. I'm on the very first high school team, and we go up there to the Lumberdome to play those guys. And we finally thought that we had a victory. We had a 1-goal lead in the third period, and we took our foot off the gas and ended up losing the game by a goal. And we go through the line to shake hands, and one of their players, I think to this day, honestly, I believe it was Lonnie Moe, sucker punched Stan Fletcher, one of our captains, in the rib cage and knocked him down on the handshake line, and it was on. I mean, it was everybody's on the ice, and everybody paired up, and everybody was grappling, and it was just turned into a surreal, insane situation. And two of our freshmen at that time, Nick, Brian Selland and Mark Morrison, got thrown into one of those old narrow-sized nets in Bottineau, and then they dumped the net on top of them, and they were like shrimp and salmon out at sea. They're inside the net and the netting, and they can't get out. So Good Samaritan backup goalie Larry skates on up there to try to get the net off them. And our starting goalie, Gary Fletcher, comes over, grabs me, and yells at me to stop fighting, and flings me, and I didn't expect that, and we all know how small that rink is. I'm talking down by the windows now. So I go into the boards, and at that time, the sideboards didn't have any glass or wire, just chicken wire in the ends. But if you lifted the puck up 4 feet, you'd hit people in the crowd. I mean, but back in those days, not that many guys could lift the puck up higher than the boards. So I hit the boards, and they had a section of cheerleaders, old female cheerleaders, I'm talking probably at that time in their 70s and 80s, that would always ring cowbells when Bottineau scored. And they drove you crazy because you heard them all the time because they were really good. And I hit the boards, and as I'm getting up, one of these ladies that's always very vocal back in those days takes her purse as I'm down and just wonks me in the head. I mean, it was a cheap shot. And so I've hit the boards, I start getting up, and I get nailed. It was something out of WWE, you know. I'm back down again, and our head coach, Pete McKenzie, was fighting their head coach, Jerry Sir. Our student managers were fighting. Players were paired off. Their dads were on the ice grabbing us, telling us to stop fighting. We only had like 5 dads up there, so we're outnumbered big time. I remember the police department being out on the ice, telling us to stop fighting, and so-and-so is going to press charges, and they're just yelling. It's just chaos. As I start getting up, I mean, I am not happy that I just got wonked on the head by Mildred, or, you know, whatever maybe her name is. So I take my stick and I get her purse, because I had my stick in my left hand. So I snag her purse strap, and I get her purse, and probably now, years later, I'd be thinking, oh boy, that's really disgusting what that kid did. But I dumped her purse out on the ice. And so the lipstick and the change and everything's freezing down there, and it was just pandemonium. 2 of their dads grabbed me, threw me through the gate, told me to get upstairs. The locker rooms used to be upstairs. It took a while to get this thing settled down. There used to be a bowling alley there. I don't know if it's open anymore. Sunny Country Lanes was the name of it. And we had ordered a box of burgers that we were going to swing in and pick up to eat on the way home. No way. The police department said, we're escorting your bus out of town. There's a cop car in front of us, a cop car behind us, and it was like, don't let the door hit you on the way out. And they just shoot us out of town. And we didn't get our burgers, and no suspensions, no fines, no, you know, that was in the middle of the season. But, you know, just like carry on, you know, next game, business is normal. Nowadays, half of us would have been in jail, and then the other half would have been suspended. But we just all played the next game. And finally, in 78, 4 years later, Scott Fuchs' overtime goal beat Bottineau in the play-in and the regional, finally beat them. It took years to beat that hockey team.
What a story that is. Much different time. And tonight, Minot High's up 2-0 at the end of one. We'll be back with our second period. Larry's got the play-by-play when we return. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Systems go for lunch. Frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
Brett Davis won the draw, passed it on over to defenseman number 6 Peterson, and he tried to hit a bomb pass, missed it, and icing is called, and the faceoff will come all the way down to our left, down by Odin Nelson.
Well, Minot High with those goals in the first period tonight from Brock Bergrud and Mason Deal had things rolling early. 13-2 the shots after one if you're just joining us tonight.
Broughton hustles around the net, banks it off the glass, tries to get up to Weil. He does. Weil taps it towards Stenberg. It goes on into the zone. The Braves try to get it out now, but the Magicians keep it in. Stenberg point blank from the hash marks, and he buries it. And the Magicians up 3-0.
I was just going to say, the Magicians are starting to look like a different hockey team, the way that they're moving the puck around. I go back in time to the game against Fargo Davies at the midway point of the season, and the Magicians were just having so much trouble moving the puck up the ice surface. Now there's crisp passes left and right all over the ice surface. You see one go right to Stenberg. He doesn't waste any time. That's a big boy play, just getting it, firing it, finds the 5-hole, and Stenberg lands goal number 8 on the year.
And a couple of nice chip passes. We'll listen for the assist. That was a good play all around. The Magicians dumping on into the zone again. It comes back to the point, and Broughton takes the shot, deflected by Stenberg over the crossbar. It now goes into the far board. Zamboni gate. Stenberg walks out in front again and takes a shot, and Lorenz the save. Back to the point to Broughton. He gloves it down and tries to flip it up. He's forced out of the zone that time by Amsbach, and the Magicians work it back on in behind the net. Lorenz doesn't go to get it. The defenseman will have to. That's Handelin, and Handelin now up to Jay Shear, and Shear now hands it off to the other defenseman, Riley Olsen. Olsen works it into the Magician zone. It's up to the top of the circle now winding on behind the net's Haberman, and he'll look for the head pass, and it's a nice one to Stenberg. Stenberg misses Deal behind him, and once again, Hyde tries to throw it up to Deal, and it goes all the way into the Bottineau zone. And now cutting it off on the boards up there is Hunter Cope. Cope fighting for it on the far corner, red line extended. It pops on out to the defenseman Riley Olsen. He tries to come on into the Magicians opposed up, and that is going to be an icing. I thought they had gained the red line, but obviously not. And Bleda will wait to drop the puck to the right of Lorenz.
Duffy Dobank had the call as Weil from Peterson and Broughton on the goal, but it was Kyler Stenberg. I believe it's Stenberg from Weil and Broughton would be how I have it.
We'll see if that gets changed. Deal loses the face-off. It goes in behind the net to Adam Handelin. Now Deal dancing out from behind. He'll take it to the near corner. He dumps it to the point. To Pozda. Pozda shoots and scores from the blue line. I do not know if that was tipped in front. Possibly getting a stick on it. Might have been Haberman.
What a play that was. Minot High has found all sorts of mojo here in these last 4 games. They've scored 31 goals coming into tonight. They've got 4 here tonight, and we've got a lot of hockey left. 32 minutes to play still in this contest tonight. Opposed is on the board for the Magi, 4-0.
Opposed after the draw dumps it back in, and here comes the Magicians again, and a shot right out in front on the tip. And almost getting the goal was Haberman on a nice assist by Cope. Now it comes back into the Magician's zone. Haberman has to go back for it. Deal over to help. Haberman falls on the blue line. 3 Braves over there fighting for it. Evan Nelson finally dumps it in, and it goes back to Hyde, who tries to hit a long pass to Weil, but it goes too far, and it's cut off by Hoffert, and Hoffert dumps it back into the zone. Hyde now back out to the neutral zone. Here's Cope over the blue line. Cope possibly tripped there. No call as he ran into Handel, and the puck now laying loose on the near boards, hash marks, and dumped out by the Braves. And they're going to negate icing as Broughton's back to get it. and he's getting heckled by Jace Shear. Now the Magicians across the blue line again. Here they come. It's Murphy. Murphy trying to hit Plemmel, doesn't make it as the defense gets in the way. And now a pile up to the left of Lorenz.
Nets off its moorings. There was some action in front of the Bottineau goaltender, Lorenz. It was Haberman make that Plemmel 12, not 15, right on top of the Bottineau net keeper. That last goal was scored by Haberman. That was goal number 5, make it number 6 of the year for Chase Haberman. They're going to say Opposda and Deal had the assists on the goal. 14:05 to play here in the second. The Magicians doubling up with the lead. It's 4-0.
Fillion wins the draw, and the puck comes out to Murphy, and he rattles it off the crossbar. Goaltender's best friend there. The Magicians keep it in, and now the puck goes onto the stick of Plemmel, and the Braves get it out, and I think this might turn into an icing fest, and there's another one.
Eric Herbel, the head coach tonight, in charge of this hockey team for Bottineau. He's got the game plan of just slowing this thing down. We talked about that with Williston the other night. At this point in the game, shots are 17-2. You're down 4-0. You'll take these icings when you can get them, just to try to save a little bit of energy, regroup, reset, take it one play at a time.
Joe Handelin also helping him out on the bench. And getting booted out of the faceoff circle is Brett Davis, who's been fairly successful tonight. We'll see now how Stenberg handles it. He wins it. Back to Opposda. Opposda dances to the top of the slot, takes the shot, comes back to Vial. He tries to shovel it in. And now Riley Olsen dumps it out and gets it out of the zone. Stenberg's got it on the red line. He's looking for somebody. He'll bring it in himself. He dumps it off the boards, and it flips out of the rink with 13:26 remaining.
Souvenir finding a fan on that one. Not a bad crowd here tonight at the Pepsi rink at Mesa Arena. This place holding roughly 2,400. Nowhere near that tonight. I'd guess probably 200 or 300 inside the venue tonight with the maroon seats.
Face-off dropped outside of Lorenz's zone to his right. The Magicians win it and dump it in, and Vial will pursue. Now it's dumped all the way around by Alex Hofford. It comes sliding through the top of the slot. Vial gets it, tries to whirl, and now Stenberg ends up with it. It takes a shot, and Adam Lorenz didn't see it, but he stayed big and made the save.
Lorenz went down into the butterfly. Vial got it back over to Stenberg, who was bidding for his second of the night. Stenberg opened the scoring here in the second period with goal number 8, point number 16 from Vial earlier on. Lorenz makes stop number 14 of 18 in the hockey game.
Davis once again on the draw. He wins it. He pulls it back to the point to Hyde. He'll go off the boards again to Davis. Excuse me, that's number 18, Vial, and he'll ring it all the way around. And now fighting for it in the near corner is Davis. And Davis still trying to keep it in. Stenberg's help, and Stenberg shovels it back to Davis. He backhand centers it right in front, but nobody home for the Magicians as Nick Costa takes it, and he'll get across the red line this time and dump it in. Nelson stops it behind the net, fires it right back up, but it doesn't get out. Keeping it in that time was Wyatt Hawkinson, but now the Magicians are in. Vial takes the shot, glove save. Lorenzi's going to hang on as Vial gets dumped by Alex Hofford after he takes the shot.
Yeah, not a big shooting percentage, not a big scoring percentage from outside the top of the circle and around the dots like that, but Vial still put a nice hard wrist shot towards the net. That's what Jordan Willett was talking about in between periods. Shoot the puck, shoot it hard, shoot it low. Might not go in on the first chance, but the rebound might be there.
Winning the draw again and back to the point. It was the shot by Tatum Hertz from the right point. Big pad save by Lorenz there. The Braves try to get it out of the zone. They do. Now Bergerud's going to bring it back in. He's going to try to get it over to Haberman, and Haberman takes the shot, and a blocker save there by Lorenz. And now it goes to the goal, to the Zamgate. Ricochets out front off a Brave skate, and Lorenz has enough of that and freezes that down.
Bergerud was the man on the doorstep looking for his second of the night with 12:08 to play here in the second. I like what the Magicians are doing here tonight, though. They just keep the foot on the gas pedal. They've been rotating lines, all four of them all night long. No double shifting tonight, getting everybody out there and everybody putting in a full effort in this contest.
And as you said, they're shooting the puck over and over, and that's what they need to do. Now it comes back to Hertz on the point. He'll pinch in, dropping back to help him is Deal. And now Haberman is going to ring it around over to the far goal line extended, where Deal cuts it off and dumps it behind the Bergerud. Bergerud trying to hit Hertz as he comes in the slot. It's intercepted by the Braves, and here's a 2-on-1. Oh, no, offside. You can't do that, especially when you get limited chances, and Wyatt Hawkinson's caught offside.
Wyatt Hawkinson frustrated as well. His eyes were lit up the size of watermelons as he crossed in. He was about a foot in offsides. Eric Steele had the arm up, but he blew him dead.
Face off outside Odin Nelson's zone. And now the Braves work it back in. Nice move by Riley Olsen. The defenseman comes on in. And now he gets pickpocketed there by Zach Peterson. A shot from the point, a weak one. The stick broke on that shot by Alex Hofford. And here come the Magicians. 3-on-1. Cutting for the net. Oh, there's the shot taken by Plemmel. I thought he might dish that to Bryce Borkus. And Andy Carton stops the play as the net comes off again.
Yeah, that you can touch more probably on those moorings that are here, the pegs that actually go down into the ice surface and down into the cement. But tonight it's come off the pegs more in this game than I've seen all year.
Yeah, the marsh pegs, we invested in those here at the arena, and they sure have made a big difference. But if you hit them hard enough, they're still made to break off. This time the face-off taken by Blake Nelson as he gets a chance to play center. And the Braves are going to get it out. Defenseman Olsen again gets it on out and dumps it forward to Amsbaugh. And now chasing it for the Magicians is Peterson. He'll ring it behind his own goalie. And here they come again. Jack Plemmel is stopped at the red line. He tries to backhand it in. It's batted around. And now another opportunity for Amsbaugh. But he can't get around Broughton. Nice defensive play by Broughton. They'll dish it over to the near side here. And cutting on in again is Bryce Borkus. He'll take the shot. It just goes wide. It ends up right behind the net again now, and fighting for it is Riley Bieberdorf, one of the defensemen for the Braves, as he digs it out. But the Magicians get it now, and Plemmel, top of the slot, takes a shot. That hits some skates. Bryce Borkus right back to Plemmel. Top of the slot, takes the shot. Save by Lorenz, drops to the ice and covers it up.
Remember that old, what was that thing called, the boning machine, where you'd put all the pucks in it and it'd just fire pucks at the goaltenders?
Yeah, we still have one next door, a goaltender's workout machine.
The goaltender's workout machine, that's what Bryce Borkus reminds me of here. He's just sending pucks to the slot for Plemmel over and over. 3 opportunities. Final one finally got towards the net. Nice save, Lorenz.
The Magicians win the draw. They get another shot right from the top of the slot, and Murphy scores.
Right where Grandma keeps the cookies. How about 2 macadamia nut and a chocolate chip? Goal number 6 on the year for Nick Murphy. That one hit the pipe. You heard it go clank. And it's 5-0. Minot High with 10:20 to play in the second. Boy, the Magicians are rolling.
Yes, they are. We'll wait for the assist on that. It could have been one of a couple of players getting that. And now Fillion takes the draw. He gets it to Murphy. Murphy in by himself, 1-on-3. So he'll just take the shot, and it goes over Lorenz's glove and over the crossbar. It now goes into the near boards, comes back to the point, and Opposed can't keep it in, and he's going to have to backtrack to his own blue line and throw it over to his partner. And now Hyde hits the pass up to Cope. And now here they come again. Murphy looking for Cope. That one gets picked off, but it goes right back to Murphy, who'll go to the point to Hyde. Hyde on the far point, will walk in. Top of the circle, takes the shot way wide. Opposed pitches in to keep it in, and the battle is on now on the near boards, and it squirts all the way around the Zam gate over to the far boards. But now the Magicians come up with it again, a centering pass to Murphy. And now it's back to the point again. Opposed through traffic, hits the crossbar, and I think it's in.
It's in. Sam Opposed to Hunter Cope, who tipped it. It found its way over the blocker. That thing had eyes on it. It lifted up over the blocker, went up into the top corner. Opposed from the line. It's Hunter Cope. Back-to-back points for him. It was Murphy from Cope and Fillion on the last one. This one's going to be Cope from Opposed. And I believe Fillion's going to get credit on this one as well.
2 goals in 50 seconds. One at the 6:40 mark, one at the 7:30 mark. And the Magicians machine, is well lubed. Now the Braves bring it into their own zone, and they fight for it, trying to get it out. The Magicians keep it in, though. They're always right there, one stride in front of the Braves. The Braves starting to look a little tired, Nick, as we reach this stage of the game. Trying to get it out is Riley Raczynski, of course, his dad, the head coach of the Lumberjacks up in Bottineau. Stenberg, a nice centering pass and a backhand scoop goal. Nice pass by Stenberg. I'm still trying to see who got the goal.
Brett Davis.
It is Davis.
Fancy move from Davis.
31 seconds after the last one, Nick. Well, Coach Bennett told you on the pregame show they want 10. They got 7 already, and we're only midway through the second period. Once again, the face-off at center ice. Davis wins the draw and just kind of backhands it up to the Bottineau blue line. But now he tries to hit a pass over to Vial. That doesn't work. It goes back into the Magician zone. Broughton all the way up to the blue line to Vial, and we've got Andy Carton's arm up, and the chop, that means a slash.
It's Amsbaugh that's going into the sin bin too, so Bottineau's best player is going to be off the ice, and the Magician power play comes back up for the next 2 minutes.
That's the first penalty tonight on the Braves. And now the faceoff goes down to our right, to the left of Lorenz, and he might have some business coming his way here on this power play. Bergrud will take the draw. Riley Olsen, the defenseman, was going to take the draw. Eric's still not happy with the positioning of the players in the slot on the outside of the circle. I don't even know why we paint these circles on the ice when we put them in here, because the players never abide by them. The puck now back to the point, top of the slot, shot by Peterson, might have been tipped by Haberman, and that goes in the net. It's a scoring barrage, Nick.
Unbelievable. Haberman fired it from the line. No, it was Peterson that fired from the line. Haberman tipped it, and Haberman's got 2 tonight.
Probably be 15 from 6, and the face-off draw was Deal. He won the face-off clean. We'll see if they maybe dish out 2 assists. Back in the day, referees gave out assists like Santa Claus. Nowadays, not so much. Timeout, I believe, for the Braves here, Nick, with 8:39 remaining in the second period. And they've been slapped around here in the second period by the Magicians.
Who is this Minot High Magicians hockey team, Larry? I'm telling you. What I talked about in the pregame, and keep in mind, Bottineau is not Bismarck Century or Bismarck High.
Correct.
But this is a Minot High team right now coming into tonight in the last 4 games, have scored 31 goals, making 5 games of 39 goals. My guess is they're probably going to get to 40 here tonight. 40 goals in your last 5 games heading into the region tournament. Arguably the hottest team in the West region right now.
And they're rolling all lines, like you said, too. It's not just that they've got the premier players out there. They're using everybody. And, the Braves look tired. They played here 2 nights ago in the JV game. Now they're here again, and then tomorrow night they play Century. They just starting to look, as I thought, wearing down a little bit here in the Pepsi rank. They do win the draw, though, and the defenseman shoots it on in. I'm looking for number 5. It's Adam Handelin that did that, but now the Magicians right back out across the blue line. Bergrud's going to move on in. He shoots it wide. Haberman will get his hand on the puck and centers it right in front. And Lorenz has to cover it up with the pillows, and that almost snuck through.
Well, the question I have here tonight, Lorenz giving up 8 so far in the contest. They've got Tyler Olson, a goaltender that is very capable on the other side. Bottineau having a couple kids that can play the pipes for him this year. Tyler Olson sits at a 4 goals against average, but an 88% save percentage. My thought would have to be, well, now, right as I say that, in comes Tyler Olson, so the goaltenders have switched.
Yeah, good call. There's a shot. Olson tries to get a leg pad on it.
My thought maybe was that they were going to save 1 for Century tomorrow night on home ice.
Yeah, and you got to get your goalie out, too, when you've given up 8 goals. If you got another goalie that's capable, you got to use them. Haberman now dumps it on in. It's going to ring around behind the new goaltender now, Tyler Olson. The Magicians walking out front. Bergrud tries to spin and get off a shot. That hits a skate and goes onto the stick of Kyler Oden, excuse me. I was looking for his name on my scribbled sheet as the Braves now fight behind their own goal line to try to clear it out. But Brock Bergrud wins the fight. It's still batted around over to the far goal line extended and now flipped out of the zone. So they try to hit a flip pass out to Kyler Oden, but he doesn't see it. Excuse me, Oden. And now Fillion tries to dump it forward. The Braves will cut it off on the blue line, and dumping it all the way down is Adam Handelin, but it was on Oden Nelson, so it is no ice. Now the Magicians go for a bomb pass. That doesn't work. And a rare icing tonight called on the Magicians.
Halfway through the hockey game here tonight, 7-11 to play in the second. It's been all Magicians tonight. Bergerud, Deal, Stenberg, Haberman, Cope, Murphy, Davis, Haberman. Those are the goal scorers for the Magi tonight. Shots are 28-2.
The draw comes back to the point. They don't attempt to throw it towards the net. They try to work it up the boards, do the Braves. And now the Magicians cut it off. And it bounces right in front of the goal there, and there's a shot. Nelson the save on a point blanker by Landon Rosendahl on a giveaway by the defense.
This is one of those nights for Odie Nelson. You'd like to see him get a little bit more of a workload here tonight. Only seeing 3 shots in the contest. You'd like to see him get a few more coming his way, coming towards region tournament time. But then again, when you're only seeing 3, it's a pretty easy night for you.
Yeah, you know as a goalie, you want to get a little work. You don't want to stand there and freeze up, so to speak. But that's the way it looks like it's going to go tonight as this Magician offense is hitting on all cylinders. Here comes Fillion over the line. He'll drop it back. He was going for Bryce Borkus. He couldn't get him. And now the Braves bring it up to the half wall, and they work it out of the zone, and then it's fired back on in by Hyde. Partially gloved there by Alex Hoffert, and he's going to try to work it out of the zone. And now it's Amsbaugh over the center line, over the blue line. He's 1-on-5, ladies and gentlemen, as he takes it into the corner. And the Magicians had everybody back checking. And now jumping it on out as opposed to he doesn't get it out, though it comes to the point. Now it's right in front and whiffing the shot. Whiffing on the shot was Evan Nelson. He had it 3 feet in front of Minot's Nelson and couldn't get a stick on it. It'll come all the way back down to the Brave zone. They'll have to work it back on out now. Nick Costa tries to move it forward to Wyatt Hawkinson, but it ends right back up in the Bottineau zone again. Good forecheck by the Magicians, keeping it in. Picking it up, the loose puck is Stenberg in the corner. Stenberg comes back to the point to Broughton. Broughton a wristy, it hits traffic in front, ricochets to the corner. The Braves will flip it off the glass and out of the rink to get a face-off.
Yeah, that one was coming up towards us here in the press box. 5:27 to play here in the second period. And the Magicians putting the lumber to Bottineau here tonight. It was such an entertaining game up at the Lumberdome on the 22nd of January. 5-4. There was 3 lead changes at the end of the hockey game. As you remember, Bottineau took the lead late in the contest. Minot High tied it up, then they took the lead. Then Bottineau tied it with 16 seconds remaining and forced overtime. And then Brett Davis got the game winner at the end of overtime that night. Minot High proving a point here tonight.
Well, this proves one thing, Nick. Home ice advantage is huge in high school hockey, especially if the rinks aren't the same dimensions. Makes a big difference. Comes to the point to Broughton. He tries to dump it on in. It's ricocheted by Kyler Oden behind the net. And now Stenberg, far goal line extended, tries to go behind the net. Can't do it. The Braves trying to work it up, but boy, the Magicians back check ferocious. Goes back to the Zam door again. Stenberg chasing there. Flips it over to the other side to Vile. Vile trying to go back to the point to Broughton, but that's intercepted there by Kyle Oden. And now he takes it all the way down to the Magician zone, and he's racked off the puck by Peterson. Peterson roughing him up, maybe a little too much, as the arm comes up by Andy Carton, and he's going to call a holding penalty here at 10-12.
Peterson to the box on the holding. I do have to say this, the Lumberdome is probably my favorite arena in all of North Dakota. Obviously, the Ralph is pretty darn cool. Shields Arena is pretty special to us, with Minot High winning the state title there in 2015. We had the call of that game. Pepsi Rink is pretty neat. VFW with all the time I spent with the Cats in Bismarck. But the Lumberdome, there's just something about it. And the community, the way they come out on a Tuesday, Thursday, Monday night, doesn't matter. That place, the reason the Bottineau took Minot High to overtime that night is not only did you have the team buzzing a bit and some players like Amsbaugh and guys going, but you had the whole community behind you. The place was loud. There was an electricity in that venue that you just don't get anywhere else in North Dakota. quite the special place.
Yeah, you are correct. It's a great place to play. Of course, that was built by the CCC in the 30s. They also built the old Bill Jerome Arena in Devil's Lake. Same atmosphere there in the old one. Unfortunately, the Firebirds don't play in there anymore. Puck centered right out front to Vile. A great pass from behind the net. And Vile takes a one-timer, gets knocked down, and a penalty's called on that play. And heading to the box is number 2, Riley Olson, with an elbow.
4:20 to play here in the second. We're going to skate 4-on-4 for the next minute 33. After that, 27 seconds of power play time for the Magi. They've been deadly tonight at even strength. They also have one power play goal in the contest.
Bill Jerome Arena and the Lumberdome, I believe, both about 175 by 75 size rinks. Compared to the 200 by 85 makes a big difference. Murphy racks it off the side of the net, and now it comes around to the near boards, and a deal gets plastered on the goal line extended. A big hit there. But the Magicians keep it in, and it hits the skate of Deal and goes in. They're waving it off. I don't think he kicked it in. It ricocheted off of Deal's skates as he was going through the blue paint. And it's being waved off.
Gar McCrimmon says no goal. He's going to say that was kicked in. McCrimmon, new to the Minot area in reffing. He's done some high-level professional hockey before, some minor pro stuff, some high-end NCAA stuff. Guy knows what he's doing. Very well respected down in the ref's room.
Hyde now works it in, and Deal again. Maybe wants to try to get that back again, but now the Braves bring it out quickly. This is one of their fastest rushes of the night. Wyatt Hawkinson, but he gets cut off at the pass by Murphy. Comes back outside the zone. They got to tag up. Now Opposda will run it behind the net to Hyde. Hyde being challenged there by Hawkinson. Doesn't bother Hyde, and he hits Murphy with a pass on the fly. And a great hip check. Great hip check there by Alex Hofford as he takes down Murphy on a possible break into the net. Great defensive play by the Braves. Comes back into the Minot zone now. Opposda will rattle it to the neutral zone. And now the Magicians looking for another head man. They've got it. Murphy's 1-on-3. He'll take the wrist shot. It's off the pads of Alex Hofford. And the Braves now try to work it out. Here they come. Jay Shear fighting against Hyde and Broughton. The top 2 Minot defensemen shutting the door on Shear here with 2:51 remaining. And the Minot penalty is over. And now the Magicians on the power play, and Broughton gets pasted by Tanner Lord into the boards as the Magicians dump it in and try to set up the power play. But the Braves work it out of the zone. Broughton has to dance with it on the Pepsi logo, and now he'll take it on in the far side. He dumps it into the corner to Haberman. Haberman now works it behind the net, tries to backhand it out front, comes all the way to the point to Broughton. Broughton now skates towards the top of the slot, takes the shot, and making the save this time is Tyler Olson on his knees, and he'll hang on.
Yeah, talking about Bottineau hockey and some of the traditions up there at the Lumberdome. Start with Dave Hoff, the head coach of this Bottineau Braves team, who's coaching Team USA, the Paralympic sled team. And I tell you what an honor that is, being selected by Team USA for the sled hockey team. Guys like Dustin Penner, who played for the Bottineau Lumberjacks, won a Stanley Cup, a couple Stanley Cups.
Here's a break by Riley Olson. He's going to be in by himself. He'll take the backhand. Oda Nelson the save. Wasn't quite covered up, but the referee, Carton, behind the net, had a unseeable angle from there. He's forced to blow the whistle. Nice save by Nelson on a nice break-in.
Yeah, Odie Nelson needed that stop here tonight. It's only the 4th shot that he's seen through nearly 2 periods of play. And a breakaway on the backhander. Nelson denies him and will face it off on his blocker side.
Winning the draws, Rosenthal. He brings it back to the point. A blast from the point by Adam Handelin goes right into Odin's glove. Bob Gillen just sent me a text in girls hockey. Fargo North and South defeat Davies tonight 6-1. This faceoff will come to the right of Odin Nelson. Devin Blada directing traffic. He'll drop the puck. The Magicians win it and try to force it out of the zone. Flip pass to Haberman. And now it's still at the neutral zone. Battling for it there is Zach Peterson. And now Fillion in the battle. Peterson hitting everybody sees out there on the ice now, and he shovels it to Fillion. Fillion had Bergrud open, but elects to take it in himself. He'll circle around behind. Fillion looking, dishes it on the side of the net to Peterson. He was in too tight, couldn't get a good shot. Fillion picks it up again. Look at him motor. Back to Haberman. Shot. Save. Rebound. Misses the net. Bergrud shoots it wide, and the Braves scrambling and just trying to get it out now. The Magicians relentless. Finally tagging up his Bergrud, and now he takes it right back in. He's all by himself against 4 Braves as the Magicians change it up. And now they get it back to the neutral zone. Vial on the red line. He'll dump it on over to Hyde, but offside on the far wing. It looks like it was Stenberg in by a stride. And 1:02 now remains in period 2.
Minot High girls action tomorrow afternoon, 5 p.m. will be covered at ProStyleProduction.com. Waylon Wallstrom's crew currently sitting number 4 inside of the state of North Dakota for girls high school hockey. Big weekend for them. Both Fargo schools coming to town tomorrow at 5 p.m. Saturday at 2 p.m. for the Majettes.
Vial dances into the slot, then he circles. He's not happy with what he saw. He sets it back up. It's nice when you can just skate around and set up plays in the other team's zone. Comes back to the point now to Opposda. He tries to dump it into the corner. That's cut off. And then they try to hit the release pass out to Wyatt Hawkinson. That doesn't work. The Magicians are there. And now the Braves bring it in just momentarily out to the neutral zone now. And there's a hit from behind by Vial, and he got by with that one. And he still fights for it right in the referee's crease here in front of the penalty box. And now it finally gets into the Brave zone. Circling around trying to pick it up is Brett Davis. Davis will fall down, almost makes the mistake of gloving it with his hand. Thinks twice, and here comes the Braves. Wyatt Hawkinson is leveled by Hyde as he was trying to bring it in on a 2-on-2, and the horn blows. And period number 2 is in the books.
All Minot High tonight. They lead 8-0 at the end of 34 minutes. We'll have our Thrifty White Drug intermission report. When we come back, we'll have the recap of the hockey game up until this point. Talk to Jordan Willett. We'll preview those girls' games right here at the Pepsi Rink tomorrow and Saturday afternoon. We'll do all that when we return. Minot High up 8-0 on the Bottineau Braves here tonight. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement, Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Systems go for lunch. Frequent supper times a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibetta Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report. Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority. Now for the stats, analysis, recap, and everything else Magi Hockey. Here's Nick Hulberg.
8-0, Minot High in the driver's seat tonight against the Bottineau Rugby Braves. It's been all magicians tonight to the final regular season matchup of the year. Nick Hulberg and Larry McFall here for the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report, but it's now time for the Elevation Coach's Corner as Jordan Willard's down to the player's bench with that wireless microphone. Coach, what more can you say about the Magicians right now? You guys are red hot coming into tonight's matchup. 31 points in the last 4 games played. You guys have 8 more goals here tonight. You guys are really tearing. What's the word in the room right now? You guys have to be feeling pretty good.
Well, first off, I just can't take my eyes off Larry playing the air guitar up there right now. Guy's just crushing it. But I think the main thing for us right now is that 5 on the board. We've only given up 5 shots in this game. Boys are defending really well. You know, if they're in trouble, they're using the glass and getting pucks out. I mean, yeah, it's nice for pucks to be going in the net, but that's, you know, it's to be expected. The guys are working extremely hard, getting pucks high and finishing low, and it's really enjoyable hockey right now.
Not easy for Odie Nelson to sit back there in a game that's pretty much in the bag and make save after save only once every 5 minutes. Nice job from Odie here in period 2.
Yeah, you know, not a ton of work, but the work that he's had, they had some quality there, a couple chances. The kid had a nice little breakaway across. Odie stood tall. You know, kid's playing hard tonight. You know, you would know more, and so would Larry, than I would, but you know, you're back there, you get a little cold feet standing there not seeing much, so, you know, nice job by him.
How important is it for everybody to be rolling right now, right before region tournament time? We've kind of been Jekyll and Hyde kind of a team all year long. Is it fair to say that we're starting to really blossom at the right time here? I mean, that's kind of a stupid question, but how important is it maybe that we're blossoming right now, right before region tournament time?
Well, you know, it's the old cliche in sports, Nick. You always want to be playing good at the end of the season. You know, get to next Thursday, you can basically throw out anything, and it's the start of the second season. You know, getting into Thursday region play, the tournament here at you know, the Mesa Arena. That's what you play all season for. And yeah, it'd be nice to be a 1 or a 2, but we're headed in as a 3. Not much we can do about that now. But you know, playing well going in, and hopefully getting a state berth. That's the goal.
How do you like that cliche question? How important is it to be playing good hockey at tournament time? My, oh my. Well, rookie mistake up here next to the legend, Mr. Larry McFall. Final thing I have for you. Are we going to celebrate tonight a region win if you guys can hang on to an 8-goal lead at Buffalo Wild Wings with some Asian zing sauce tonight?
You know, I love that Asian zing. More importantly, I'd like to see Larry with some wet wipes and a bib on.
We'll make that happen. Thanks for your time. We'll talk to you in the post-game show.
Thanks, Nick. Bye.
How important is it to be playing your best hockey? I guess where I was coming from on that question, Larry, more so is not – yes, it is a very generic question. It's just a cliche question, but this is the best we've seen the Magicians play all year, and it's been a team where Minot High, we had so much expectations of them doing exactly what we're seeing here, where you go back to the 22nd of January up in Bottineau, and this is a team that you're blowing out of the water tonight. There's no contest here. This is a team that you barely got a win against on their home ice. I know that the Lumberdome's a hard place to play. I'm aware of all that stuff, but this is a different Magicians team tonight than we've seen leading up until, you know, the Dickinson matchup, this Williston matchup. I know those teams aren't the top teams in the region, but we're still putting 8-10 up against those teams. Everybody is rolling right now for the Magicians. Just seems like they really have it kind of figured out.
Confidence is a big key, Nick. That's one of the main things in sports that you need. You got to be confident that you can get the job done. If you're not confident, a la Magicians at the start of the year, you've got problems. You don't score. Now everybody gets tighter hands on the stick. They try harder. They're frustrated. All that stuff adds up. Once you can start rolling and start getting those goals that they did in Mandan, then it continued to Dickinson, and then against Williston and now Bottineau. Confidence can do a lot of things. Minot has talent. Look at our program. Our squirts, our PUEAs, our Bantam A's doing really well. The high school's got talent. You just have to have everything come together, and the number one thing you need is confidence. You have to think you can score and think you can win, and they're doing that now. They look really good here tonight.
Thrifty White Drug, where your healthy outcomes are our priority, brings you the intermission report here tonight. 7 minutes, 40 seconds from the start of the third. Local celebrity Scott Schuster's here again tonight.
Oh, boy.
Unbelievable that he's here again tonight. Special thanks to Mr. Schuster. I was up there at North Country Sportswear the other day. I ordered these Magi hockey zip-ups.
Is mine on back order?
Yes, yours is on back order.
Mine hasn't even been ordered. What are you talking about?
Let's get the box score recap from you after 2 periods of play, Larry. Plenty to report here. Hope you got plenty of air in the tank, because Minot High's been all over Bottineau tonight, 8-0 with the lead.
Brock Berger had opened the scoring at 3:57 on assist by Jake Weil and Kyler Stenberg to make it 1-0. Mason Deal about a minute and a half later buries it to make it 2-0 on an assist by Zach Peterson. Then the Magicians slowed down a little bit with a couple of penalties that slowed down their attack. But then in the second period, this last period we just played, it was showtime. Jake Weil at 21 seconds from Broughton and Zach Peterson to make it 3-0. Then Chase Haberman about another minute 20 later at the 1:48 mark on assist by Opposed and Deal. And then at 6:40, Nicholas Murphy with the goal on assist from Hunter Cope and Peyton Fillion. And then Sam Opposed at 7:30 from Cope. Then another one about 30 seconds later from Brett Davis. Assist from Kyler Stenberg. And that made the score 7-0. And then they got their 8th goal at the 8:21 mark. Chase Haberman from Zach Peterson. So that is all those goals happened, Nick, in a span of less than 7 minutes, except the opening goal of that period by Weil. So they get 6 goals in 7 minutes. An unbelievable barrage by the Magicians. Adam Lorenz had 11-13 saves. Once again, they didn't see that they didn't make the change on backup goalie Tyler Olson. He had the 11 saves in the second period, I believe, for a total of 24. Somehow that doesn't pan out on the scoreboard. Odin Nelson credited on this sheet with only 4 saves for the game, and the scoreboard says 5. So I think they might have maybe done a little clerical error down there, but the Magicians looking good here after 2.
5 minutes away from the start of the third. We'll come back and wrap up our Thrifty White Drug intermission report. Then we'll get you geared up for the third. Minot High leading Bottineau tonight. It's 8-0 at the end of 2 periods played. This is Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Your wedding day is the biggest day of your life. That's why you need to talk with Nick Hulberg from Pro Style Production DJ Services. The experience, the voice, the setup, you won't be disappointed. 15 years of big arena hosting, announcing, and DJing speaks for itself. PSP DJ Services also handles premier events, reunions, or parties. Call 833-1007 or visit ProStyleProduction.com to book now. PSP DJ Services. Make your event Pro Style.
At Premier Chiropractic, we are dedicated to achieving the best results possible for our patients through the most cutting-edge advances in natural healthcare today. Improving movement, function, and health, improving life.
Call to schedule your appointment today.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibetta Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
Areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Bismarck Century and Mandan tonight from the capital city. Matt Schneider, Bismarck Century and Jamestown tonight from the capital city, and it's Matt Schneider, the Jamestown goaltender, holding the Blue Jays into it after 2 periods of play. Century only up 2-0 on Jamestown tonight. Matt Schneider dominating performance again, the Jamestown net keeper.
Why hasn't my man Bob Gillen ever updated me on those? I don't get an update on that game, but I do have one. I do have one more girls final. Dickinson over Jamestown 4-1.
Well, I just want to thank Bob Gillen for sending me the text about Jamestown and Bismarck Century tonight. No, I'm just joking with you. It's Brent Borkus from Bismarck at the game.
Borky's down there. The beautiful one?
Yes, he is. Minot High will go from the right to the left for the third period, left to the right for the Bottineau Braves tonight. Bottineau's in their road purples, black helmets, pants, and gloves. The Magi are in maroon helmets, pants, and gloves. White uniforms with Davis taking the opening draw of the third against Alex Hardy.
I'm done writing the scorekeeper, by the way. We can continue now.
That was unbelievable. You were all over the scorekeeper. Here you just didn't hit refresh on your iPad. You were just giving it to him, and I just let you keep going.
We almost fired him.
I had the sheet right next to me. I was just shaking my head the whole time. Wondered how long I should let you go with that. And then I finally let you know, and then you had to apologize. It was fantastic. 17 seconds into the third. Braves are in. 2-on-1. A drive whistled up and wide. Nice wrister from Jay Shear, but he sent it about 6 inches wide on the glove side. Magi are back in. Brett Davis with a goal tonight. Had a chance at it for just a moment, but the puck is pushed back out to center. Now Davis is on the retrieve. And it comes away to Peterson, and Peterson goes up to Stenberg. He'll poke it into the zone as the Magi are on the prowl down to the offensive zone. Puck comes away far side wall out to center, directly over the Pepsi logo on center ice, and Pat Hyde's on the retrieve. Back in front of Odin Nelson. He goes back to the far wall in front of the Magician bench, up to Plemmel, and Plemmel's in. Top of the circle, Plemmel fires, and the pad save made there from Olsen as he gobbles it up.
For the second game in a row, we're on running time now to North Dakota high school activities. Anything more than a 6-goal lead. This doing color is like being on a lunch break. It's like being on vacation compared to having to call play-by-play.
Yeah, you find yourself kind of dazing off a little bit during the color commentary.
Well, play-by-play is exhausting. Now here I'm kicking back, having a drink, eating a piece of jerky. Things are good now.
Nice job on the call, by the way. Pat Hyde at center ice, crosses over center, he'll dump it in. Just amazing that you can hold on to that talent after doing play-by-play for the Minotaurs. 7 years ago was the last time you did hockey play-by-play. Of course, you do play-by-play at the Nodak Speedway and Williston Basin Speedway, one of the best in the nation on the dirt track. Hockey's a fast-moving game, though, boy, let me tell you, especially when the Magicians are buzzing the way they have been tonight.
Yeah, it's fast-moving tonight.
We're 2 minutes into the third. Minot High's up 8-0. Braves from Bottineau pushed to center, and it's Riley Olsen that dumped it into the zone. Pat Hyde's got a handle on it. Hyde is going to have the play come to an end. A hooking call called on the Magicians, and into the box will go Jack Plemmel. Run time here tonight.
you folks want score sheets of the games at next week's West Region or the state tournament, go to www.rinkwriter.com and they have all the score sheets. Of course, Bob Gillen keeps up the North Dakota High School Activities website. North Dakota High School Hockey, I guess I should say. That's where Nick and I get all our information from.
You know, he really deserves a lot of credit for that. He puts a lot of time and effort into that stuff. Without Bob Gillen doing that, guys like us, I mean, what would a guy do? You'd have to be trying to track down coaches who wouldn't keep as much track as they should if that site wasn't there. He just does a fantastic job.
Yeah, he does.
A lot of credit needs to go to Bob Gillen. Up to center ice, shorthanded. Deal intercepts it. He's got Murphy with him. Deal steps in, top of the circle, tried to feed it across. That would have came from the blocker to the glove side of Olsen. But it's the Braves with possession of the puck, and they cross it up to center ice now with Costa. Costa's in. Broughton took it from him, and then it's pushed up by Murphy, and Murphy sails it out to neutral. Here's Rybczynski back in with it. Rybczynski, the son of the Bottineau Lumberjacks. Head coach Travis Rybczynski walked it down. The big defenseman fired it in. Rebound comes out in front. Downey Nelson into the butterfly, forced to make save number 6 of the night. Nice stop from Odie.
Yeah, Odie came out of the blue paint, covered that up well. You know, Bob Gillen's our third general manager in the history of the Mesa Arena here, following Chuck Emery and Jared Olson. It's a privilege to work for him here. I love the heck out of my job as the ice operations manager, and the stuff Bob has to deal with on a daily basis here is just amazing.
Vile shorthanded went coast to coast. He had Stenberg with him, fired one on. Olsen made a save. Back out to center ice. Hertz is going to hammer this one right back in. 10 seconds on the Bottineau power play. Runtime has us down to 12:40 in the third. The Magicians up 8-0. Goals tonight: Bergerud, Deal, Stenberg, Haberman twice, Murphy, Cope, and Brett Davis on a fancy one. Magi are full strength. Puck flipped out in front of the Minot High bench, right in front of the Planet Pizza logo on the Minot High bench. Taken there by Stenberg, off to Vile. Vile's in. Center slot, whistles in. And Olsen makes the save.
You know, all I have to do here is drive around in circles on the Zamboni all day and night, but the stuff Bob does is phenomenal. And our ice crew, Stevie Brown got the nod to drive tonight, watching the guys work in the intermissions, spot on, taking care of the ice. But yeah, Bob does a lot of work, and that it's not, like he said, it's not easy to get the correspondence from those coaches to keep that up. So it'll come in handy here next week for sure, going into the West Region to have all those numbers.
Visit ProStyleProduction.com for more information on game times, broadcast information. Sounds like 1390 will be our home for tournament time, but then again, we are on 910 here tonight due to District 12 basketball. Sounds like 105.3 the Fox FM might be the home to us again. That has been our home for the state tournament the last few seasons. Larry and I will have the call for you from Grand Forks at the Ralph Eggleston Arena. That is, of course, if the Magi can win 2 games next week and qualify for the big dance. At this rate, the way the Magicians are playing, you'd have to think they probably will be there.
Well, we know pretty much, unless a miracle happens tomorrow night in the Dome, that it's going to be the same Bottineau rugby team again next Thursday.
Into the offensive zone, the puck comes down behind the net. Borkus behind the net. Borkus sends it in front. Hertz turns it towards the goal, went wide. Borkus rebound, doorstep. Oh, he tried to fire it home. Couldn't quite put it past the netminder. Borkus still battling for it there, but the puck whistled off the glass. Down it comes, rolls in on Odie Nelson, who's out to play it. Odie saucers this one the length of the ice. And Blake Nelson and Borkus were waiting at the blue line. Odie makes a nice heads-up play, but he fired it waist high, and neither of them reached out with a glove to grab it. They went down for an icing.
Borkus really digging, trying to get his first goal. Of course, his dad Brian played junior gold years ago. So did our buddy Brent and Brad, the other 2 Borkus brothers. And Bryce just came real close, trying to stuff it inside the goalpost down there.
Here's Plemmel coast to coast. He's going to walk, fire, and a stop from Olsen. Went down into the butterfly, took that one right off the Indian head on the chest, and he hung tight to it with that fancy CCM black and white leather.
You know, I didn't do the games with you at the start of the year. A lot of the games here, I was driving Zamboni while you're announcing. But I really think Plemmel has really turned into a heck of a player. Seems like his skill level now compared to the start of the year has really, really grown.
Hand pass called on the Magi. So with 9:30 on runtime wearing down, we'll face it off back in the Minot high end. Yeah, Jack Plemmel had a start to the season where he was kind of looked at in my eyes as, wow, this kid could be the next real thing. He's a big player, not small by any means. Plemmel on the score sheet with the size of the kid. I don't have it in front of me. I'll find it for you in just a second. All this paperwork with
They always lie about all that stuff anyway, the height and the weight. It's never close.
Looks like you stole my sheet, I'll tell you right now.
I didn't do anything with your sheet.
You got it. 6'1", $160 for Jack Plemmel. No, it's right here. 6'1", $160 for Plemmel, but he was a player that really kind of emerged at the start of the year, and then he just went ice cold.
Oh!
He's crushed on the far side wall after he's in offsides here with 8:40 to play.
Wow, another... Alex Hofford is dishing it out tonight for the Braves. Defenseman number 26 just rattles Plemmel. Plemmel's got a few words for a couple of the Braves as he heads to the box. Player's box, that is. No penalty.
8:20 to play here in the third period. Nice conversation tonight with Waylon Wallstrom as they get ready for Fargo South tomorrow at 5 p.m. 4:45 p.m. on ProStyleProduction.com. You can see the webcast of the game tomorrow, video and myself doing the play-by-play. That'll be tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m.
Two big games for the Minot Minotauros the next two nights also. 8:05 tomorrow night, 7:35 on Saturday against the Brookings Blizzard.
Nick Murphy back in, sent it in front. Toros put on such a great show as well. A lot of fun to be had here at the Pepsi Rink this weekend. They're battling for a playoff spot. That Central Division is a tight one as they come down the stretch. Hyde tries to send it in. They got a little bit left on the season. They go till late March. The regular season campaign. Centering feed. A drive comes in. Haberman sends it towards the net for Murphy. Couldn't pull the trigger. Comes back top of the circle. Deal battling for it here. Haberman now walks out, sends it from the goal line towards the net. No one home for the Magi. Comes back up onto the tape for Pat Hyde. What a fancy move. Hyde's back in with it. Hyde shuffles it across. Haberman fires. He's robbed, bidding for the hat trick.
Boy, what a nice pass by Hyde setting that one up.
Murphy robbed. Oposta's got it. Sends it in. Deal now behind the net. Takes it. Sends it in front. Hyde. Sharks and water on the Magi. They're buzzing. Look out. Olsen got panged right in the neck. He's down on the ice. And the Bottineau goaltender in all sorts of pain. That's going to bring the play to a stop.
Hey, he was down as a butterfly, and his neck protector, throat protector was stuck up a little bit. And I think that did get him pretty close to the throat. He popped right up, though, and now the referee's checking him out.
I noticed that in warm-ups. He wears a black Bauer goal mask. The old 960 I-Tech, if you will, if you know what that is. Basically, they wear that plastic piece, the goater, that hangs around the neck. He doesn't have the strings tied tight enough on that thing to close the gap in between the plastic piece and the actual neck protector and the chin piece of that goal mask. So that neck protector kind of dangling around down there just a bit. Due to that, the gap in it ended up nailing him right in the neck. Drew the play to a close, and then Hyde whistled for an unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Hyde at 10:17.
6:41 to play here, the third. 8-0 Minot High. Magicians have 4 players on the ice. Here comes Bryce Borkus over to serve the Patrick Hyde 2-minute. Hyde's going to be in there for 10, it looks like, at 2 on a 10. Saturday afternoon, 1:45, Minot High girls on ProStyleProduction.com as well.
Will you wave at me when I blow by on the Zamboni?
Oh, 100%.
Tomorrow?
Then Pro Style Production will carry the MSU women's game on Saturday afternoon. That one after the Minot High girls game. Busy week for us here on Pro Style Production, man. Let me tell you, Tuesday night, Thursday night, Friday, 2 Saturday. Region tournament next week, state tournament the week after. Hopefully by then the weather starts to change. We can get the golf clubs out for Big Country Links south of town. Start playing a little golf out there.
Well, I tell you what, I'd be right with you because I'm really tired of this cold. We've been fortunate to not have to plow our yard very much, but boy, it's been miserably cold.
Vial back in behind the offensive net. Minute 10 remains on the penalty kill for the Magi. Looks more like a power play for them. They're buzzing, but here comes Ian Amsbaugh. For tonight's game, Amsbaugh came in with 23 points. He's been held off the score sheet tonight, as has his entire Bottineau Braves club. Shots are 39-6 Magi. They lead 8-0. Amsbaugh down to the corner, spins away with it. Amsbaugh working it around here at the half wall. Trying to flip it up out of the zone for the Magi. Comes away from Stenberg. Now it's pushed out to center by Vial. Amsbaugh and Vial have a bit of a conversation there. The senior and the freshman. Amsbaugh, the younger of the two. He goes back to the bench. Not too excited about that. 30 seconds remains of the power play. Underneath the Minot High net. Braves with control of the puck. This is Wyatt Hawkinson. 15 points for him coming into tonight's matchup. Third in scoring on the Braves club. Here's a wrister from the far line. That one from Rybczynski knocked down, and it's Fillion that carries out to center. Then Fillion off to Murphy. Murphy knocked it down with a high stick, and they're going to whistle him for that. So we'll face it off back at neutral.
Actually, Murphy offside by about a stride and a half. But now Andy Carton comes in. He's going to, I think you're right now, they're moving the face off on a high stick call instead of the offside. Rybczynski had a good chance there from the top of the key of the circle. I'm not in a basketball game. He shot it way high, though. Got it up too high.
Borkus out of the penalty box. Serving the Hyde penalty. Borkus throws it towards the net, but wide. Puck taken here by the Braves. They're going to fire up to center, and with a backhand, it comes across to Peterson, who handles here. Peterson moves it back away, and Peterson steps in over the blue line. Peterson fires it up. Goes off the top of the glass and touches the protective mesh out of play.
If I say shot from the top of the key again this year, just take me out of my misery, please.
Face off on the glove side of the goaltender, Tyler Olson. 3:46 to play in the third.
That was my one and only basketball reference for the season.
Run clock has us down to 3:35. Stick around for the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show. Jordan Willert will have his thoughts. We'll get you prepped for the region tournament. Maybe we'll know more by the time the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show takes place. Larry will have the recap of the hockey game. We'll have our thoughts. We'll have the region tournament preview. Century #1 out west. Bismarck High #2. We know what times they're going to play. Not sure who they're playing quite yet. Minot High looks like they're going to be playing Bottineau. 3 against 6. Back at the near point. Drive comes in. Turned towards the net. Olsen's blocker side. Puck went wide. Comes back up to the point. Magician's working across with Hertz. Hertz off of Josh Drady, by the way, in the matchup tonight for Minot High. Bergrud, near circle. Back to Drady at the point. Fires it across to Hertz. Fires it in. The stop is made. Bergrud in front of the net trying to tuck it home. That one went wide. 2:30 to play here in the third. Drady from the line sends it in, but wide. Haberman handling now. Haberman walking from the corner. Backhander towards the net. Knocked down. Puck taken by the Braves. They'll ice it. Odie Nelson's out to play it. And we'll face it off back in Minot High offensive territory with 2:10 on the run clock.
Scott Duke joining us, Minot's old #1 student manager, starting back in the Dean Blaze era. Listening from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. How you doing, Dookie? All these games on ProStyleProduction.com all next week. The regional tournament right here at the Pepsi Rink in Minot. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then hopefully carries on to the REL for the state tournament the next week, Nick. And the Duke brothers, Scott Duke, Stuart Duke, my buddy Ray Labodny, all student managers back in the day at Minot High. So was my son Brandon McFall for quite a few years. They were all so good at it that nobody could fill their shoes, and that position is no longer filled. In Minot High hockey, it's kind of sad. There's nobody around like Duke now to get beat up outside Schaumburg Arena anymore.
We're down to 90
That's a story
seconds.
for another day.
Oh, I can't wait to
We'll
hear
tell
it.
that story next Thursday.
Scott Duke, the two-time champion out at the Rock in the rock throwing
Yes,
contest.
he's two-time Roosting Rock Federation champ, but we won't say who the 15-time champ is.
Home field advantage. 1:15 to play here in the third
Yeah,
period.
home field advantage.
Braves have the puck. Minot High's in. This one off the end wall. Karams back in behind Odie Nelson with that Bauer goal stick. He turned it aside. We're down to 1:04. Play in the final regular season matchup of the year. Here's Duffy Dobek. Thank you, Duffy. Puck handled by the Braves at center. Could have been whistled for too many men on the ice. They're not. They let him play, and they walk in with the Braves. Take it down next to Odie Nelson on the glove hand side. Fired up by Ams by Anayan, and goalmouth, and he sent it wide. Back into the offensive zone here. Zach Peterson, coast to coast. Takes it down on Olsen's glove hand side, down to the corner. Left down it comes, down for Borkus. He'll just spin it around the end wall away to the far wing. 30 seconds to play in the game. Now Borkus on the near side wing. Comes back up over to Deal. Deal's going to walk in, top of the circle. Toe drag, back to Borkus. Borkus fires one off the glove and wide. 16, 15, 14, 13, count them down. Minot High, the number 3 seed, heading into the region tournament. Bottineau needed a win tonight and a win tomorrow against Century to move on to the 6th spot. So Minot and Bottineau are going to play in the region quarterfinals a week from today here at the Pepsi Rink. Get ready for what should be a lot of fun. We've got plenty to talk about in our Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show. Tonight we'll hear from Jordan Willard. Larry will tell you how we got to 8-0 tonight in favor of the Magi. Boy, Minot High has hit their stride. They've scored 39 goals in their last 5 games heading into tournament time. Get ready for some fun. Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show's next. We'll tell you how this one went down tonight. Minot High wins. 8-0 is the final. Odie pitches the shutout. Plenty of guys on the score sheet tonight. Wing Sauce comes up next.
Listen, your wedding day is the biggest day of your life. That's why you need to talk with Nick Hulberg from Pro Style Production DJ Services. The experience, the voice, the setup, you won't be disappointed. 15 years of big arena hosting, announcing, and DJing speaks for itself. PSP DJ Services also handles premier events, reunions, or parties. Call 833-1007 or visit ProStyleProduction.com to book now. PSP DJ Services. Make your event Pro Style.
At Premier Chiropractic, we are dedicated to achieving the best results possible for our patients through the most cutting-edge advances in natural healthcare today. Improving movement, function, and health, improving life.
Call to schedule your appointment today.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Go for lunch, frequent supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
I love space.
Planet Pizza.
My name is Marshall Knop. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. It's time to make sure your holiday gifts arrive on time and unbroken. It's why at the UPS store we offer our pack and ship guarantee. We can pack, ship, insure your item, and get it there on time. 100% guaranteed. If anything were to happen, you're covered, and so is your package. So ship away for the holiday. For the finest in packing and shipping, the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show with the recap, stats, analysis, coaches' thoughts, Minot's finest collision center stars of the game, and all the wing sauce you can handle. Let's return to the press box with Nick Hulberg.
Well, if you've never had Buffalo Wild Wings, you're missing out. That stuff is absolutely fantastic. They have a lunch menu as well. More than just chicken wings, by the way. They've got all sorts of good stuff at Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, Beer, Sports will be there tonight after the contest with Minot High winning 8-0 over the Bottineau Braves. Nick Hulberg with Larry McFall here in the press box for the recap of this one tonight.
How can you stay out so late? Like right now, I mean, I got a 7-minute drive home. I lay down, I'm done. And you're going and eating and socializing, and how do you do that?
I don't know.
How old are you?
Well, I'm only 32.
Okay, I'm 59. Makes a little bit of a difference. I get pretty tired. In fact, I'm tired just sitting here looking at you.
Boy,
That's how tired I am.
I think the Magicians and Braves are probably going to be tired tomorrow after this one. You're going to be tired after telling us how it went down tonight. 8 goals to report in the hockey game.
Oh, I got to do that again?
Plenty of assists.
If these people would pay attention the first time, I wouldn't have to do it over again. The final score tonight, Minot just dominated that second period and put the game away. Let's take a look and see how they did it. Brock Berger had opened up the scoring at 3:57 of period 1 on an assist from Jake Weil and Kyler Stenberg to make it 1-0. And then less than 2 minutes later, Mason Deal got the goal from Zach Peterson, and the Magicians were off and running at 2-0. Then they took their only 2 penalties of the game, I think. Nope, they did get a couple late, I guess, so that's wrong. But the 2 penalties slowed down the Magician attack a little bit, and that period ended at 2-0. But then in the second period, look out. Jake Weil at the 21-second mark from Broughton and Peterson made it 3-0. Then Chase Haberman at 1:48 from Sam Opposed and Mason Deal made it 4-0. And then about 5 minutes later, it was 5-0 as Nicholas Murphy found the back of the net on an assist from Hunter Cope and Peyton Fillion. Then Sam Opposda at 7:30, that's 50 seconds later, on another assist by Cope, put the Magicians up 6-0. And then 31 seconds later, Brett Davis from Kyler Stenberg at the 8:01 mark made it 7-0. And then 20 seconds later, Chase Haberman again from Zach Peterson made it 8-0, and that was the final score. We'll have the rest of the stats for you in just a second, but right now Nick Hulberg has Jordan Willard on the hockey hotline.
Nice call. Coach Willard, it's Elevation Coach's Corner time. Boy, you guys have to be pretty jazzed heading into the region tournament on this big of a hot streak, and a lack of goals at the start of the season, and just some scores that you look back at the score sheet, and some nights where we were shut out quite a bit. Obviously, tonight's a different night, and these last 5 games have been different stories. You got everybody buzzing right now. Larry just gave us the recap of scoring. Everybody seems to be buzzing for you. Goaltender played well tonight. Your thoughts heading into the region tournament? Minot High might be a team that could shock some people heading to the Ralph Engelstad Arena in 2 weekends.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about that in the locker room. We sent a message tonight for next Thursday that, we're going to be a tough team to play against, and hopefully the fellas show up. But, just the stuff you're just talking about there, Nick, it's a true attest to the players we have in that locker room. Yeah, some things didn't go our way this year. Some nights, we didn't really have it like the kids wanted to have it, but the kids showed up every day and they worked, and we changed a couple things here and there, and we found a practice plan that put a little bit more creativity into our game, and the guys bought into it, and I think the guys quit dipping their toes into that water, and I think they've now jumped in, and this isn't a bad time for that to be happening. Like I said, doesn't matter if you're 1-19, you get to the region tournament, something can happen. I mean, obviously that's not where we're sitting. We're sitting in a pretty good spot here. But we still got to show up and we got to work. Nobody's just going to hand it to us. Big game Thursday night against, this Bottineau team that we just played tonight. We still got to have it. They got some kids that can go.
Start of the year, I had Minot High pegged as the #1 team in the West. People thought that I might be a little bit crazy thinking that Century was the team to beat. Coach, in your mind, how much of your message in the upcoming week of practice is to your team that, listen, guys, we can win this region tournament coming out of this thing. We are good enough to do this. How much do you just hammer on these kids, letting them know that there's a whole community here that thinks that these guys can get that done and walk out of the West Region tournament with a #1 spot on their back?
Yeah, I mean, we're right back at it again tomorrow. We actually got some ice for Saturday, just so we're not a bunch of days off before we get into a pretty stressful week. Tomorrow and Saturday, I think, it'll be a little bit easier, a little free flowing, let the kids use that creativity, get up and down the rink. And then we come Monday and it's bango time. It's time to go. And, yeah, I mean, it's something that needs to be talked about. Like, guys, we take care of business on Thursday against a good Bottineau team here. Those kids work extremely hard over there. Coach Hoff and Herbal, they got those kids, they work hard. But we take care of business there. We're staring at Bismarck High, and we owe those guys. It's been a couple years here now where Bismarck High has kind of had Minot High's number. We're playing in our home barn in a WDA tournament, and that'll be for a chance to go to state. Yeah, playing in the region championship game is always nice, and it's always fun, and it's where you want to be, but you want to be at state. So that's for that berth, and I just hope these seniors, these kids we got on our team, I just hope that they're. It seems like everybody's turning a page. December was, kind of a dark month for us. We got into January, things started getting better, and now here in February, it seems like all the cylinders are oiled up, greased, and ready to go. And, hopefully we just keep chugging along here, taking care of our business, worry about ourselves, and, see where it goes.
The looks that people were giving me when I said that Minot High was going to win the West, gosh, I would love to walk out of our home venue with that tag on our back. Nice job on the coaching staff, guys, getting these guys rolling in that right direction, at least giving us a chance to even be in that conversation come next week. Nice job tonight. We'll see you in a week.
Hey, thanks a lot, Nick. Hey, just real quick, I want to thank you and Larry for everything this season. Having Larry there is a really nice touch. You guys got a plethora of knowledge, loves Minot High hockey in the city of Minot more than anything. And then there's you, Nicky. Hey, can't say more enough. You do everything for us. We really appreciate it. So thanks, guys.
You missed out on a story tonight that Larry told about 1974 in the Bottineau Lumberdome, where he went after an elderly woman on a walker and took her purse from her, man. I mean, you got to go back and listen to the story. It's unbelievable. It's in the Thrifty White Drug Intermission Report #1 tonight.
We listened to it in the coach's room.
All right, thanks. We appreciate you tonight. Jordan Willard.
I think that just kind of got turned around a little bit, but
I just can't believe you did that to that poor lady.
I didn't take after a woman with a walker. Now, don't be saying that, or I'll hear about that all week. The only guy out on the ice that won a fight was Jordan's dad, John. John Willard held his own in that rumble pretty well. John used to be a pretty tough guy. Not saying that he wouldn't be now, but I think every joint in his body's been rebuilt, so I think I could take him in a heartbeat. But
a little bit of a region preview when we come back. We're also going to have our Minot's Finest Collision Center stars of the game.
We got a bunch of final scores from Bob Gillen that we want to make sure we get on here, too, before the end of the night.
We'll make it happen. Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show has plenty more when we return. Minot High wins tonight 8-0 over the Bottineau Braves. It's a matchup that we'll see 1 week from tonight, quarterfinals of the region tournament. This is the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show.
We serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knob. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We are at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Let's go back to the press box for more of the Buffalo Wild Wings postgame show.
Wings, beer, sports, they've got it all at Buffalo Wild Wings. Great place. We'll be there tonight to celebrate an 8-0 win for the Magi from Minot High over the Bottineau Braves. Don't take anything away from those hardworking kids from Bottineau. That's not an easy challenge coming into Minot's Mesa Arena tonight. 41-7, final shots on goal. The Magi win 8-0. Larry, I know that you've got some score updates from around North Dakota, which gets us geared up for tournament time, which is a week away.
Yeah, we didn't finish all the stats yet either. In penalties, Minot took 6 penalties tonight for a total of 20 minutes, and Bottineau only 2 penalties for 4 minutes, as they did a pretty good job staying out of the box. Goaltender saves for Adam Lorenz. He had 13 in the, 11 in the first, 9 in the second. And then Tyler Olson came in and got 3 more in the second and 10 in the third for a game total of 20 out of the 28 shots on goal. Odin Nelson, of course, the son of Thor Nelson, the former National Hockey League referee or linesman, had an easy night in the net for the Magicians. 2 saves in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third for a game total of 7. Like you said, about 3 weeks ago, you and I went up to the Lumberdome, and Bottineau wins it in overtime, 5-4. It's amazing how it can switch from that venue to this venue. Just kind of crazy that the Magicians came on that hard tonight. They had 17 scoring chances to Bottineau's 4 here tonight.
Have to correct you. Minot won that game in overtime. I know that's what you meant, but said Bottineau won it. Minot won in overtime.
Minot won in overtime, and then now tonight to just total blitzkrieg there in the second period. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, Bob Gillen blew up my text feed here with some scores. Davies beat Cheyenne tonight 6-1. Grand Forks Central gets the 5-2 win over West Fargo. So Central wins the East. Red River will be the number 2 seed, even though Red River defeated Devils Lake 4-0 tonight. Fargo South and Fargo North are tied 2 apiece in the third period. And it was a battle in Bismarck, as you'd said, but Bismarck High hangs on and defeats Jamestown tonight 2-0.
This is what that does for the West Region Tournament coming up next week, starting at 11 a.m. on Thursday here at the Pepsi Rink. Williston, Mandan, or Hazen-Buehler is going to be taking on Bismarck Century, the number 1 seed. At 1:15 in the afternoon, Jamestown or Dickinson is going to be taking on Jamestown or Dickinson, depending on how they finish 4 or 5 seeds. So Jamestown-Dickinson is the matchup at 1:15 in the afternoon. The early game of the nightcap at 5 p.m., it's Mandan or Williston against Bismarck High, followed by Minot High and Bottineau Rugby at 7:15. Those games, of course, 30 minutes after the conclusion of the one before, so you'll kind of have to bear with us come tournament time. It's going to be like that for the next 6 games, just so you know. There's no rock-solid game time for the Magicians or Planet Pizza pregame show times unless Minot High has the first game of the session that day, which could happen.
Yeah, and that's what they do. As soon as the games are done, they take 10 minutes to resurface the ice. They take about a 15-minute warm-up, and that is 25-some minutes, 5 minutes to do your introductions, and that's why they say game to start approximately 30 minutes after the one that just finished. So, yeah, keep an eye on that. We'll make sure that you folks know exactly when the puck's dropping.
Keep up to date with us at Pro Style Productions Facebook page and also at prostyleproduction.com. You can hear all the games online throughout the rest of the season there. We're not exactly sure if we're going to be on 1390 Cars AM, 910 AM KCJB, or 105.3 The Fox. Conversation with the radio station still to be had, but we will be on the radio for the games coming up. All depends on how Minot State basketball does, with one of the top teams in the conference for Minot State men's basketball, and then of course the women's basketball team in the playoff picture as well this year. Kind of a surprise, so good for them. So that's what we're waiting on to find out. All depending on where those teams end up is where Minot High hockey will end up on the radio station. So bear with us. We'll get that off to the newspaper fellas as well, and have that in the paper for you on game days also.
And during your regional tournaments and stuff also, folks, you can go to www.rinkwriter.com to get all the score sheets updated from all the games. It's a really handy tool to use as well.
It's time for the Minot's Finest Collision Center Stars of the Game. Minot's Finest Collision Center. We are Minot's Finest.
This is such a hard part of the night, trying to find three of our top players. On a night like tonight, 8-0, Minot High gets a win. Goaltender pitches a shutout, plays well back there, makes saves when he needs to. Got all sorts of guys on the score sheet multiple times. Minot's Finest Collision Center brings you the stars of the game they have for the last 6 years here on the radio. We sure appreciate Corey and the staff over at Minot's Finest Collision Center. We will tell you that Minot's Finest Collision Center ensures that proper procedures are followed to repair your vehicle so that safety features are maintained to keep you and your family safe. We're more than an auto body repair shop. We are Minot's Finest. 839-0989.
And my son had a couple of unfortunate run-ins with his Honda, and we both times went there. Did a fantastic job of repairing the car. Nick, you couldn't even tell that it was even in a fender bender when they got done with it. Just outstanding work there at Minot's Finest.
Sure appreciate them tonight. Tough choice, and something that we flip a coin tonight on who we pick and who we go with, and for good reason. I mean, my oh my, you got the Magicians and all sorts of players on the score sheet more than once tonight, but I like to give credit tonight to Zach Peterson on the blue line tonight, a kid that we talked about him on Tuesday night being kind of an underrated player for the Magi, and a player that ends up with 3 assists tonight. Peterson in the conversation. Hunter Cope has 2 assists tonight. Boy, I like the way that Hunter Cope kid plays. He's just up and down the ice. Another nice night for him. He's going to be in there as well. And who did we say? Chase Haberman was the other one. He had 2 goals tonight for the Magicians, and a nice night for him. Mason Deal should be in the conversation also, by the way. 3-point night for Mason Deal as well. Plenty of guys doing good stuff tonight, but we're going to go with Haberman, Cope, and Zach Peterson as your 3 stars of the game tonight, brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center.
And you know what's really satisfying to me is way back in the day, you know, we joke about all the games and stuff I played and stuff, but I was basically your borderline backup goalie, and I know how it is for 4th line kids and backup goalies to never get a chance to get in games. So tonight, to be able to see Borkus out there working hard, and seeing Drady out on the point there a little bit late at the end of the game. He's got quite a few years left. To see these guys like Nelson and a lot of these guys get out there that normally don't get to play, that to me as a fan and a former player is very satisfying, because it's no fun practicing all year long and never getting to hit the ice. So tonight, to see, in the last 2 games actually, to see a lot of these guys come on out. To see a lot of these guys come out and get a chance to play is just a really great deal.
Larry, we sure appreciate your time here tonight. We'll see you for 6 more games at the end of the year. Should be a lot of fun. Amped up for that?
Oh yeah, regional will be great. And once again, we're very happy to have it here at the Pepsi rink. If you folks have never been inside of here before, this is a gem. We're in our 2nd season here. I've got the privilege of working on Bob Gillen's crew here, and my job is to lead the ice crew and take care of all 3 sheets of ice. We're really looking forward to hosting that tournament here. 2 years ago, we played the tournament, of course, in the Eck rink, which was okay, but it's a whole different ball game here in this brand new Pepsi arena, and we're just really looking forward to host it and have those games in our building. So what I have to do is work the 3 games that Minot High doesn't play in. I have to work on the ice crew with the resurfacer driving the ZAM. My son, Brandon McFall, spinning circles right now as we speak, getting the ice ready for tomorrow. We'll take turns driving the regional. He'll handle the game that I'm not at. Steve Brown, Alec Broughton, those guys have been good drivers for us in games. When you go out on the ice right now, it's not a big deal. When you're driving that thing with 2,000 people or 1,500 people yelling at you and screaming and pounding on the glass and little kids waving, it's a whole new ball game when you're driving those resurfacers. And I've got quite a few guys here that do a real good job of handling that. And the whole facility, we're looking forward to. It should be a great time.
West Region Tournament, this is where it should be. Best venue on the west side of North Dakota. Should be a lot of fun. We'll have the pregame show for you next week, roughly 20 minutes after the early one of the nightcap. Roughly 7:30, we could say, somewhere around there.
Right around there, yep.
Once again, Minot Daily Newspaper will have the location of the game for you. We'll also have that on ProStyleProduction.com this week. Archived on YouTube are all these games of Minot High Magicians hockey as well. Special thanks to Jordan Willard stopping in tonight. Also, thanks to Jason Bennett for joining us tonight. As always, for my broadcast partner, Mr. Larry McFall, we sure appreciate him being here tonight. Great job on the play-by-play and the color commentary. Can't wait for the final 6 games of the year coming up. Minot High needs to win 2 of the next 3 to get to the Ralph Engelstad Arena. The way these guys are playing right now, you might as well book your tickets in advance. I think the Magicians are going to be there, and they're going to be rolling. Should be a lot of fun. Minot High rolls tonight. They win 8-0 over the Bottineau Braves. We'll have the same matchup next Thursday. Planet Pizza pregame show 20 minutes prior to the matchup next Thursday night. We'll have fun when we get that one underway for the quarterfinals of the region tournament. For everybody joining us tonight, we sure appreciate you for swinging in. Thanks for joining us at 9:10 a.m. KCJB and all the sponsors that make Magicians hockey possible. Till next time, we'll see you next Thursday. Good night, and God bless.
ProStyleProduction.com. This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network has been made possible by IMM, Minot's Finest Collision Center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Souris Valley Dental, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Thrifty White Drug, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings, Pimento Orthodontics, Bremer Bank, Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, First International Bank and Trust, Tecta America Dakotas, Elevation, First Western Bank and Trust, and Pro Style Production DJ Services. Stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network at ProStyleProduction.com.